Yeah, I mean, basically what I want to do today is to speak to Mohammed Ijab because I want to show, he was talking to Haytham, and the thing is, no offense, Haytham is great, but I don't think she's experienced it like the way I have grooming, sexual grooming by Muslims. And he was using an argument about correlation and causation and using red herrings to kind of distract people and confuse people. And so I want to really narrow women with statistics and personal experiences, because you can't deny personal experiences. Yeah, I know firsthand what can happen. And with Adnan Rashid, I called him the Holocaust denier, yeah, of the Indian Holocaust. He said on there that not even 100,000 people were massacred in 800 years. Today, I want to establish that one fact alone, just to show he's a liar, and then I can break him down over the weeks. Yeah, it will be a long process of me kind of like, it's like, you know, in a garden where I'm just sharing all the weeds out. I'll do one by one, yeah? So let's get started. So basically what I want to do is rile up people. My thing is trolling, yeah? It's not necessary, I'm not taking anything too seriously. Yeah, my thing is to troll them and show their silliness and hypocrisy. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it was nothing to do with religion. It was nothing to do with faith. If this happened to a Muslim person, I would have done the same thing. I just think the way they went and surrounded him, I understand that they were annoyed about a particular comment, but this is Speaker's Corner, and you can handle yourself in a particular way. It was very intimidating, I think, for Daniel sitting down, and you've got like, how many people around him? All of them look really angry. One thing I do want to say, Muslims are the best because they're so hilarious when they're angry, yeah? They're always got these beady little eyes when they're angry. And the thing is, it's not nice looking at today. I don't think people understand. When I saw what was out in the crowd, it looked pretty, I don't want to say the word vicious, that's too much, but it looked like, you know, they genuinely didn't like Daniel, yeah? And if this wasn't Speaker's Corner, things would be different. And so I had to intervene because I'm not standing there as I don't want to say I'm a Sikh because I'm not representing Sikhs, but as a person, a human being. I'm not letting anyone bully people or letting the Christians be belittled, because what they're doing is doing what other people do is when they call people racist for disagreeing with immigration. I want zero immigration for like a year. Am I racist? I voted Brexit. I want to close the border just to control things, but people call you racist, but they can't call me racist because I'm brown. And the same thing is happening with Speaker's Corner. To shut people down, they're calling people hate preachers. And that in itself is a very loaded word which could get the Christians into a lot of danger. It can become physical if someone reads hate preacher this, yeah, and it's all over. Every time a Christian comes from Speaker's Corner, I always see the word hate preacher on there. Yeah, I mean, basically what I want to do today is to speak to Mohammed Ijab because I want to show, he was talking to Haytham, and the thing is, no offense, Haytham is great, but I don't think she's experienced it like the way I have grooming, sexual grooming by Muslims. And he was using an argument about correlation and causation and using red herrings to kind of distract people and confuse people. And so I want to really narrow women with statistics and personal experiences, because you can't deny personal experiences. Yeah, I know firsthand what can happen. And with Adnan Rashid, I called him the Holocaust denier, yeah, of the Indian Holocaust. He said on there that not even 100,000 people were massacred in 800 years. Today, I want to establish that one fact alone, just to show he's a liar, and then I can break him down over the weeks. Yeah, it will be a long process of me kind of like, it's like, you know, in a garden where I'm just sharing all the weeds out. I'll do one by one, yeah? So let's get started, let's find people. Very disrespectful comments. I mean, I'm ashamed I was called raghead. I drink cow piss, that I'm a coon.
You drink what, cow piss?
Yeah, I drink cow piss. I'm not even Hindu, so I don't know what's going on. And so they called me a raghead, but the worst thing is their prophet used to wear a turban as well. Yeah, so I don't know, the hypocrisy with them is so laughable that I just want to show the silliness of their seriousness about everything. It's just, for me, it's really hilarious. I just find them like the best people to kind of poke a little bit because they just go insanely mad about the most minute things. So as you can see over there, they were getting agitated and trying to dictate what I could say. Yeah, and I'm saying I could say what I want. For me, he has done something akin to denying the Jewish Holocaust. Yeah, he's lied outright, and for me, said something that it's like me saying not even 100,000 Jews are murdered, but he said not even 100,000 Hindus are murdered. And I want to disprove that today, concretely, and then I want him to move on from that, and we'll have more discussions in the future. I just want to do the base bit first. And with Muhammad Hijab, it's just about the grooming. I want to tackle a few issues that he, in my opinion, was either being disingenuous or doing taqiyya. I don't know which one it is yet until I meet him, and I'll judge then whether how harsh I'm going to be with him. But I've got the stats. They can get the stats and they can look them up and they can check. They can see that out of 262 Asians that were convicted, 254 were Muslim, yeah, and 40 of them were named Muhammad, and no Sikhs. So no Sikhs, man. There's 500,000 of us, and we're quite a loud community as well. We look like them, but we don't act like them. So ask yourself, why do we look like them, but don't act like them? We need to make that. We need to make that causation, don't we? We need to link it. Yeah, because most Muslims from Pakistan are from the Punjab. I'm from the Punjab, but on the Indian side. Genetically, we're the same, but we behave completely differently. Our prison rate is in proportion to our population. Their prison rate is like 4 times more. Yeah, in every area there's issues. Yeah, when do you ever hear about Sikhs having problems in this country? Very rarely. Yeah, we're very highly educated as well. We're very integrated. I love the UK. Let's make it Christian again, guys. Let's make it Christian and few Sikhs if you want to. I'm not saying that. Steve, oh my God.
That's it, right.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, you're the best. You are the best.
Did you realise it was me messaging you on YouTube?
No, I didn't know it was you.
Gobsmacked.
Was it you? Oh my God. This guy's my favourite. Number
You
one.
didn't just get that on camera, did you?
No. I said, last week, specifically, the first person I was looking for was Steve here, because for me, he is the most articulate and the best speaker in terms of breaking down all religions, yeah? And I don't even mind if he does it to me, that's fine.
I won't, no.
But the thing is, like, for you, like, some of the stuff I've heard him say in front of people that are very hostile,
So you just started coming here?
Yeah, I've watched it for a year.
Okay.
And last week, I just saw things that over the last couple of weeks about freedom of speech being really impaired here. And I want to kind of, as a Sikh, come down and say, hold on. And this is what Sikhism is about, is not to, because these Christian guys, although I don't agree with their philosophy and stuff, they're all being bullied on that day. Yeah, and as a Sikh, I could have stood back and walked away, or what do I do?
10 minutes ago, I got called a hate preacher.
Yeah, I'm a hate preacher. Have you seen my video on the London Bridge?
I've started watching it, one with Peter Sweden.
Yeah.
I started to watch it.
When they saw that, they went crazy. Then I'm being called a new Tommy Singerson. So, but the thing is, they're the best to troll. That's the thing. Yeah, they're so hilarious. When you watch their little beady eyes in the crowd, and they're sort of like, getting so agitated over. He just had a conversation with, who was it? Muhammad Tawhid. And he was trying to dictate to me what I can say. I said, no, I can say whatever I want. You can't link Islam to grooming. I can. My cousin was groomed. Yeah, she's Sikh. It's not a racial thing. It's an Islamic thing.
That was the subject when I got called.
I've got everything here. I'll send it to you. Yeah, I've got every name of every person convicted. Yeah,
Mohammed. What a
and
surprise.
broken down. Total Asian convictions.
Just can I ask you? That must be so angry when the media say Asian.
Yeah,
they were Asian. They were Asian. They weren't Asian.
Especially
They
when
weren't
my own
Thai. They
cousin.
weren't Sikh.
Especially when my own cousin has been groomed.
And that's the thing.
And look at how many Muhammad.
Because many of their victims are white, but they are not all white. They're a Sikh, they're Hindus.
I know, we would target
They're
in
just
the 80s.
not Muslim.
You have to understand, we would target for a long time in the 80s, and what happened was that we used to have a lot of street fights. We formed a group called Shared Up Punjab, which means Lines of Punjab. Yeah, and we started fighting back. And what happened? There used to be a lot of news reports of Asians fighting on the street. It wasn't Asians fighting; it was us lot trying to protect our girls. And so that never really came out the way it did because we was all brown. And what happened? We kind of like stood our ground, and I think we kicked their ass. We're tough as well. Yeah, we got the whole package, like yourself.
I live near Southall.
Oh, you do?
Even Southall is being Islamised.
Oh, it's terrible.
You see burqas on the street.
I went into the bank here, and there was a woman with a full burqa. I was giving sensitive detail. I had to complain to HSBC. I said, it's unacceptable.
So you in Southall?
No, I'm not in Southall, I'm from East London, but I think Southall's just gone down the shithole. Unfortunately, one of the best guys that used to promote Sikhism, a guy called Jagraj Singh from Basically Sikh, he passed away.
Yeah, I heard.
So he was like a powerhouse in terms of trying to explain the philosophy. I'm not here to explain philosophy. I'm here for free speech and to clarify a few things that Adnan Rashid is a liar, and in my opinion is a Holocaust denier of this Indian Holocaust. And Muhammad Hijab, either he's doing taqiyya or he's disingenuous. I want to find out today because I've not met him. So you just get into the crowd as well, man. Let's do a tag team.
Absolutely. As I said in my comment, Jews, Christians, Sikhs,
I didn't know it was you,
unite.
though. I didn't know it was you. I kept on saying to him, I'm not just saying because you're here. The first person I said.
Because you sent me the link that we put on.
Oh, it was yourself? Oh, right. You should have said it was. Oh, but you probably didn't know I knew you.
And I'm not sure whether I want to stay online.
Oh, all right. So you've got a pseudo account. Yeah, it was quite funny last week, I thought.
No, I wasn't here last week, so I didn't.
So it's pretty interesting how there's an underlying rule here that has been enforced. I think it's a Stove Sharia blasphemy law. I even feel it. I don't feel like I can say
and that's, I've been coming here too long. Since about 20,000 I started coming, and it's steadily getting worse.
Oh no, it's terrible.
And the pressure, particularly from the ex-Muslims.
One guy got pushed, didn't he?
Yeah. All the black guys that get.
And I got proof videos on my camera of non-Muslims being harassed. So they said no one gets harassed.
All the
but
time.
they do. I've got it on my phone.
They're Joseph, the Jewish guy with the ginger.
Oh, I want to interview today.
No, I haven't seen him. But he's been chased out the park on a number of occasions.
But some of them are being Christian Arabs or something. I'll tell you who else is amazing. A guy called Jedi. He's a black guy, yeah.
Right.
He's literally causing. Have you seen Jedi? He's causing so much mayhem within the Muslim community that the Muslims are starting to fight each other in front of everybody else. Yeah, have you seen it? Because he's so articulate and the way he puts things across. He's a big dude, so they can't.
You should have come. There was an anti-Islamic extremism demonstration in central London.
Oh, can we
yesterday.
stop numbers?
You should.
I know. I do want to go here. I just haven't got the contacts. I've got no friends or anything. I keep it to myself. I hate people, that's the thing. I'm just like that. I think most people are arseholes. There's only like 5% of the population that are relatively normal. Everybody else is, you're one of the normal ones. Most people are a little bit too difficult to get on.
We'll do it online. I'll send you a...
Send it, and next time we'll go down, we'll do some trolling, and hopefully we can rile some more people. Let's find some people, man. Let's talk to you later. I'll talk to you later, man. Make sure... Sorry, bro. Sorry.
Say Muhammad was a good man and so on.
Raj, I would like to say, first of all, can I not have you filming us? Because when you film next time, title the video in a way that it doesn't look biased. You guys,
chill out.
No, with regards to people commenting on you, I was very disgusted by what you were saying and what you were saying in return.
I know, but
yeah,
I'll say fine with
I know there are many trolls out there. There are people saying all kind of stupid things, but I didn't expect that from you.
Do you know what?
I felt like commenting that guys stop cussing the guy.
Bro, if you, I'm not the person who turned over cheek.
Listen.
I don't read.
Yeah.
I'm not like that. If you're going to
Yeah, I know, but you don't go down to the level
I don't mind.
using the same language.
I don't mind.
I read Punjabi,
Dude, I don't mind. The thing is, if you're going to call me a raghead,
yeah, that's wrong.
and your own prophet or a thing, you call me I drink cow piss, say that I'm a fake
Listen,
Sikh.
there are so many disgusting people out there.
Right, brother, do you know today? How long are you here for?
I'm here for
I want to discuss, I'm a bit more prepared today, yeah? And I want a discussion about last week about the atrocities in India. Because,
Let's do it now.
Yeah?
And no, we can discuss about the atrocities in India, no doubt.
But let's keep it within a remit, though.
No, yeah, let's have a topic you want to discuss. It must lead to a conclusion rather than a discussion on atrocities in India, because there were many. There were not hundreds, there were thousands of atrocities in India committed by all kind of people. That includes Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, Hindus, Jains, Buddhists, every single group, every single community committed atrocities.
But this particular topic has to be very specific. Because
Yeah.
last week,
Let's talk about it.
Well, let's wait a minute because I need to do.
But I really want to apologize to you.
Yeah, it's fine, bro. It's fine.
I was hoping that I see you again and apologize on behalf of all those unfortunate characters online commenting on videos, saying very unpleasant
I know
things.
you're a good guy,
Yeah.
man. and
No,
everyone's like that.
I was planning to do a video.
Yeah.
In fact, this is an opportunity today. When we discuss, we'll highlight that point. That those people out there who are saying disgusting things about you or me or whoever
It's not,
or anyone
it's
for
not
that
like me.
matter.
When you call me a raghead, John Prophet wore a turban.
Yes.
So don't call me a
I don't know
raghead.
why.
It doesn't make
Again,
sense.
it shows the ignorance of the people.
It's like so
Yeah.
overwritten.
The concept of turban actually comes from the Arabs primarily.
I didn't invent the turban. It was
Exactly.
in Arabia far long before me.
The Sikh dress code is actually Islamic primarily. It is the kurta.
It might be influenced
You know,
by it,
no,
but it's
no.
not Islamic.
No, that the kameez and the what we call pajama. I don't know what you call it.
So Islam invented it.
No.
It wasn't from the pagan times.
It brought Islam brought that dress code to India.
What we need to do later on, I need to go we need to go toilet. I want to discuss India and the Mughal atrocities between the 10th century and the 15th century. Up to, let's say...
There were no Mughals in the time. You mean the Islamic?
The Islamic
okay.
rule of India.
Okay.
And I want to prove to you, because there's one statement, you made a statement, I'm not going to say the statement now, I'll say it afterwards, and I want to disprove that statement. And that's the criteria for today. In the future, I want to research more, and I want to talk extensively about Bizarre Khan, Arizanberg, and the Sikhs.
Wazir Khan.
Bizarre Khan.
No, Wazir.
I can't say the name properly, man.
No, it's
I think I hate him so-
Wazir actually means
I
prime
hate him
minister.
so much, I think, that I cannot say the name properly. Sorry, brother. He's gonna-
No, because I want, before it's filmed, I want you to know the name properly so that people don't pick
You
on
don't
that.
understand psychologically, I
Yeah.
can't say it. His name was Zaid in my head. Yeah. I think I hate him that much.
Wazir.
I hate the guy that much. I
Yeah.
can't help it. But what I want to do, and then at a time later, without this crowd, me and you to sit down and have a real kind of polite conversation about
Yeah, definitely.
the whole of Aurangzeb's, how do you say his reign, and the
Yeah.
Sikhs. Today is more about Hindus. Before the Sikhism coming around the 15th century, I want to go from like the 10th to the 15th. And then I can concentrate on the
No,
other
so instead of
afterwards.
talking about Mughals only, we should talk about
No,
everyone else.
there's no point, because I come prepared for that. And you said you got no facts. And so today,
but to single out Mughals,
Dude,
to single out Mughals.
if you don't want to do it, and you're...
No, I'm
if
happy
you don't
to do
want
it.
It's
No,
fine, it's
with,
fine.
With me, I don't run from discussions.
That's fine.
But I like to have fair discussions.
No, but I'm
Is that if you want to talk about Mughals and
last
ignore the
week
Sikhs?
you made some very, in my opinion, very damning claims. In fact,
Such as?
In fact, I would say you was denying the Indian Holocaust, in my opinion. And we'll leave it at that, and then I'll try and prove my point. Yeah, because for me,
You claimed a ridiculous amount of numbers.
all right, it doesn't matter.
Even the population of the planet wasn't that.
Even I say the numbers were too high
Yeah.
and disproportionate to the time frame. And I will give you more.
That's what I was saying. It was impossible for those numbers to be correct.
I've got it on video. You said something that completely, in my opinion, is Holocaust denial of India. And I'm not going to say no more.
And what did I say?
I don't want to say, well, let's talk, and then I'll show you the video in front of the camera.
Come back to me later
I'll
on.
come back to you later. Let's chill out for a bit, and then we'll talk.
Yes.
I just want to roll them up a bit and get them kind of like the juices running. Because you can see he's getting afraid now. What he's trying to do now, he wants to talk about all atrocities. But this is not what we was talking about last week. We were talking about Mughal atrocities. And so he said a statement that is so damning. It's like saying, to me, it's so damning. It's like saying only 100 Jews were killed in the Holocaust. But he said that about the Hindus. So it's Holocaust denial, in my opinion. I want to just walk around and get myself kind of the juices flowing and stuff, and then we'll talk and let me get more cameras. Yeah, and then I want to do some schooling.
And you bring it out as well. And if you get it wrong, I'll do it for libel. No, I'll just... You and Africa.
Gary, man, what's the beef, man?
It's basically, I want to make it clear that it's me and Raj speaking. It's me and Raj speaking. Okay? It's me and Raj speaking.
No, you can't.
Because
Is the cameras on?
you want to have
No, that's it, that's
You
it.
want to talk to me? Yeah. Okay, Raj, can you? No. Raj, he wants to be slaughtered. He wants to be slaughtered again. Let him come. Okay, can you wait? Like I waited for you. I told, yeah. Can you wait? Let me finish your words and I'll come to you.
Gary.
Hold on, brothers.
Gary. Gary.
We've got some milk.
Are you not recording?
You people.
Raj, Raj, do you mind waiting?
I know you're bitter. Man.
Okay, cool.
I know you're bitter about.
No, I'm bitter. I'm telling you, lying.
Gary is very bitter about
Lying every week. I'm
the
bitter.
humiliation he had to face.
Which one? Which one?
Pretending to be a
Name one.
lion, but in fact he's a pussycat.
Pretending to be a what?
Who pretends to be a lion.
Pretend to be
Who
a lion. I'll
50
roll
years
you
old
away.
man dressing like
I'll
20
roll you
years
away.
old.
Right? Only 50
Clown, that's what it is. He's a
Only
clown.
50 years, my friend.
Okay, we will start when he departs.
I respect you.
Act your age, man.
You're only 50
It's not
years.
secondary school, man. It's not secondary school,
That's how many
man.
debates I have and never lost. 50 debates and never lost. That's the 50 he's talking about.
So according to you,
50
according to
debates,
you,
I've never lost.
you're the only one who
That's
does.
I respect that's the 15
He is bitter and he wants my attention, which he's
I
not
don't
going
need
to
your
get.
attention. I'm making sure you don't lie. Continue.
No, seriously. Are you brothers?
That's why I'm a liar.
Adnan, seriously, are you
Pussy catch a free.
I'm dying. Can you not see I'm dying?
Yes, you are dying. I can see you
Can you not see
shaking.
I'm shivering? I'm so fearful.
This guy is a racist, and I can prove everything I'm saying.
You're a slave. To him, you're a slave to the white
not.
man.
He's my
To
brother.
him,
He's
yeah,
my
he's your
brother.
brother now, yeah?
He's my brother.
He's
He's
a
not
Christian,
slave.
by the way.
He's a brother.
To him, you're a slave
He's
to the
my
white man.
brother. He's my
You're a
brother.
slave to him. He's a
And to
racist,
him,
black
and to
supremacist
him,
who believes
and to him,
he's better
and
than
to
white
him,
people.
and to him, you are nothing.
He doesn't know. He thinks you're a slave. He thinks you're a
And I'm
slave.
slowly getting to him. You see me getting angry and angrier? I'm slowly getting to him.
He's a dog.
I'm glad you're getting angry.
Okay, it's me and Rod speaking. We'll have a decent
Yeah, go
discussion.
on. I listen to you.
Like we had last time,
I will listen
last
to you.
week, okay? And we will not allow any heckling.
any
Can you not film? I don't allow you to film.
No, you film. You film. You film. You film. This is not an open air mosque.
Can we speak now? Is the cameras rolling?
This is not an open air mosque. It doesn't work like
You
that.
don't roll the cameras. Please, Gary, man.
If anything, he's going to jeopardize your discussion.
No, what? I'm jeopardizing yours.
No,
Only
because
be
it's going
talking
to jeopardize mine. I'll correct you.
I'll only be talking
I'm not starting until he
which he
leaves.
normally does.
No, you can't do that.
No, but he has to be silent. He has to be silent. You're talking to me because when heckling starts, he wants to. Because when
I'm not
these
like
people,
you. I'm not like you. The
these people don't want us to have a fruitful discussion.
We'll zone out, man.
But you never have proof.
Can we put the cameras on now?
No,
You lie all the time.
Okay, what we should
Clown
do is
to move
me and
away
you-
first.
me and you should
As
plan
he gets in the camera.
in there
Right, you're a racist
with
and
the
you're a
mics. We
liar.
have the mics, so people will hear
No,
us.
no,
Whoa, he doesn't want to move.
Why you bringing him over here?
We need to film.
Right, there you go.
You heard the mission.
There you go.
You big head. You got permission.
Well, you'll swing around.
You move
Sorry,
over.
I mean,
Move
look,
over.
you are distracted. This isn't a BBC outdoor broadcast, my friend.
No problem.
Who the hell are you?
Don't touch me.
I swear I put you down. Don't touch me. I will put you down.
I need someone to hold
I haven't touched him. I have not touched him. I haven't touched him.
He's begging for it.
Yeah, don't touch me.
Wait a second.
Don't touch me.
Wait a
I
second.
didn't touch you.
Now, you
I
just made
didn't
it
touch him. Yeah, he's touching me. I
Wait
didn't
a
touch
second.
him.
Now,
Shall we go and sit
everyone
in
in
the
here
park?
is my witness.
I'd rather do it like this.
On the grass. No.
Back down.
Let's go on the grass. We'll relax and we'll talk.
No.
Say it again.
I'd rather do it like this. It's okay.
You're the one who came to my space. You came in my space. You come in my space. My space. Right, you come in my space. My friend, listen. Say it again on camera.
You said it yourself.
Say it again on camera. Say it again on camera. Say it again on camera.
Hamid, why are you giving him attention?
Don't get provoked. Making threats.
Let's make it. Go on, say it again.
Leave it, man.
Say it again. Leave it.
The best you can do with him, he's bitter because he's ignored. No one's talking to him. Hamid, no one's talking to him, he's bitter about it.
I'm just saying, I'm stuck in myself.
I'll talk to you.
I prosecute myself. I have you arrested and prosecuted myself. And I'm a very good lawyer, trust me.
You'll love the sound of your voice.
I'm a very good lawyer.
Good, get him, please.
I am the lawyer.
Front of everyone. Get them.
I'll
Arrest
prosecute
me.
myself.
are ignoring it.
Hamid, you're giving him what he loves, right? You're giving him attention.
Your religion is clown.
Hamid, you're giving him attention.
I'm for talking to Muslims and maybe softening my views. But coming today, you made me harden my views more. I've been accosted 5 times by Muslims to stop talking and conduct my business. I'm a grown-ass man. If you can't physically tell me to do it, you can't mentally tell me to do it. No Christian has done it and nobody else has done it.
Okay,
This
I want
is
to add to that
problematic.
very quickly. I want to add to that very quickly.
You haven't finished.
Also,
Don't
online,
interrupt him.
I've had so many comments about me, calling me a raghead.
Yes,
I want to
exactly.
say to the Muslim brothers, your prophet was the first one to wear the turban. Do not call me a
I agree.
raghead.
I agree.
Yeah?
I completely agree. I read some comments online, in most cases by a lot of Muslim people
And
out
your
there
comments, yeah?
who are commenting and saying very disgusting things about Raj. Okay.
You mean your
No,
comments?
it's not Muslim behavior. No,
They're
no, no. This is
typical
why I'm.
Muslim behavior.
This is why I'm against it. I am against that behavior. It doesn't matter who we have a discussion with, who we talk to. One cannot use that language again. Me and myself and Raj had a very decent discussion. We had a very good discussion. We were very civil with each other. We had a very fruitful discussion, in my opinion, and we will continue today. So I want to appeal to people out there that when you watch these videos on YouTube, do not use, if you want to criticize, use civil, decent language. Do not use, and I would like to also clarify that Raj went down to some of their level,
Yeah,
and
I did, and I'll do it again.
He also,
bad, wasn't it?
he also,
told them.
wait, Raj, let me finish. He also started using disgusting language, and it doesn't suit Raj. I expected better from Raj, that he shouldn't have gone down to their level
I will
and
always
used
go
the same
down to
language.
anyone's level.
No, but it's
If you
not.
troll me, I
Okay.
will troll you back.
But, so I would like to clarify, anyone in the future, please, on my videos, on my discussions, do not leave disgusting comments.
Including
If you want to
yourself.
criticize, give a structured criticism so that we can build upon it rather than ignore it. We're going to ignore or
Who's going to laugh
delete
first?
all of these disgusting comments. So be civil, be decent. We don't want Raj to think that this is what I get from the Muslims. No, I know a lot of people out there are upset. They don't like what Raj was saying, or they don't really fully appreciate the way Raj was not agreeing with your views. But that doesn't mean you can insult him. So we will start with the discussion. So we will start with the discussion. Our discussion will be on Indian history.
Because he likes to waffle so much.
Can I just, last week I came here incognito. I didn't wear my turban because when you wear a turban, you automatically start being questioned about your faith. I'm not here to talk about Sikhism, but about Indian history. Yeah, one of the things was that I spoke about Indian history and the Mughal,
Yeah, carry on.
I spoke about the Mughals, and I exaggerated a bit of the figures, I admit that. Not exaggerated, but I had a misunderstanding about the figures. I'm going to rephrase those figures, and I think they're more in line with what the truth is.
Okay.
So for me, between the 10th century until the 18th century, in Mughal India, 300 million Hindus were massacred, or Sikhs.
Right, okay.
300 million.
Okay.
Now, the premise of this talk, I'm going to clarify one thing first, and I want you to be completely honest. One of the things that
What centuries are you going to discuss?
today, because the next one's too complicated, between the 10th and the 16th.
And you're saying Mughal period.
Yeah, the Mughal period.
That's not the Mughal
Well,
period.
no, but you had Timur and you had all these other people coming in.
They're not
I don't know,
Mughals.
but
Can you show us the proof, please?
Not Mughals, but
Can you show us
Muslim
your proof?
conquest. Muslim
We don't
conquest.
hear your opinion.
Yeah.
Or
We want evidence.
They can't
Alright,
be
we
heard
won't-
in the mic, so carry on.
we won't say Mughal, but we'll say Muslim conquest of India. One of the things I want to kind of sort out straight away here, because I was actually really offended. A lot of things you didn't say that offended me, but one thing you did say that was really pissed me off, I'm going to sorry about my language, is that, in my opinion, you are denying one of the biggest Holocausts to ever happen. Yeah? And I will call you a Holocaust tonight, of the Indian Holocaust. Yeah?
I'll call it more than that.
I can lie you, I can lie you, I can call you a Holocaust tonight. Now, I want you to clarify one thing and then we can move on after this. I said to you, 300 million people died or were massacred over a 400-year period, which is wrong.
Not going to be that long anyway.
I didn't say, you said no. I then said, what about 150 million? You said no, not even 100,000. Do you still stand by that? 100.
Did I say not even
I've got it
100,000?
on video. I can take it out.
You're talking about Aurangzeb, right?
No, I was talking about the Mughal Empire.
Okay, then we had a misunderstanding. I was talking about Aurangzeb.
Right, but you didn't say that on the day. So I'm going to go by what you said on that day. Yeah? Now, I just want to clarify something. Just so that anyone that watched that video, just so that anyone that watched that video and has misunderstood him, I'm going to give you.
Wait.
Hold on.
Before you start,
No, bring out the facts.
wait, before we start, you mentioned a few things. You said you want to talk about this.
Hold on. I need
You want to talk about the Islamic conquest.
You said give me facts. So today I've come
What are you guys doing?
Hold on, brother.
Are you a
Hold on.
Muslim or what?
Why
Why are you guys behaving like
I'll let
this?
you talk.
What's going on?
But we have to have a structure.
Let me just say this.
Okay, but before we proceed, we need to establish the
I
foundation.
need to just refute this one section.
Wait.
Please, brother. can
Before you do that, we need to establish foundation.
We've already established foundation.
So you don't want to talk about
facts.
you don't want to talk about Sikh. You don't want to talk about Sikh history.
No, what I've said to you, I'm trying to refute what you said last week.
Exactly.
It was a very damning
But
statement.
are you
The same way-
speaking
the
as a
same way
Sikh?
that- the same
Are you speaking
as
as
a
a Sikh?
human being?
As a human being?
I'm not
Exactly.
defined by my religion like you guys.
Okay.
I have a more kind of nuanced way
Okay,
of
the
life.
reason you hate Aurangzeb and
No, we're
Wazir
not
Khan
talking
Brother, your
about
camera's
Aurangzeb,
alright.
because you're a Sikh, right?
Not because of that. You're trying to do red hair.
Brother, you got your camera?
No.
Let's go
Make
back
sure
to
you
your
feel
comment.
unbiased.
Hold on. Let's don't. It's beneath you to do this shit. You're a really great debater. Now, he said last week, I've got it on video, that not even 100,000 people were executed in Mughal India over a 400-year period.
People can go and check it.
Can everyone look this up on Google? Timur, who was a Turkish conqueror and founder of the Timurid dynasty.
He was not a Mughal.
Hold on. From 1398 to 1399, in the book, there's a book,
Okay.
a memoir.
Okay.
Hold on,
Wait.
You need
You
to show us your facts.
can. But can you stop at that point? So I will respond and then you can carry on.
Let me say,
want to
then
see
you-
your
So you want to throw 100
Let me
statistics?
say, no
yes.
statistics.
Okay.
It's a saying.
Okay. Can you stop it?
Hold
Can
on.
you stop it and then I'll respond?
No, let me talk first.
No, how long are you going
You
to talk?
can't dictate how I speak.
How long are you going to
It
talk?
don't matter.
It'll be
Okay.
2 minutes.
Let's time it. Let's
minutes.
time it.
No timing.
2 minutes, 2 minutes.
Whatever.
As long as you want.
Yeah, so this is in the memoirs collectively known as Timur. Yeah, these are your collections. In
long as you
them,
want.
he vividly described probably the greatest gruesome act in history. Yeah, they said that on the great day of the battle, these 100,000 prisoners. You said it was not even 100,000 prisoners. Could not be left with the baggage, and that it would be entirely opposed to the rules of war to set these idolatries and foes of Islam at liberty. That was their sayings there. In fact, no other course remains.
Where did you get that
No,
from?
this is from Timur, yeah?
Okay.
And it's a memoir, yeah, of Timur.
Okay.
Yeah, an official memoir.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, hold on.
Tuzak Timur.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah. So, in fact, no other course remain, but that will make them food
Where-
for the
and
sword.
Where is this?
Whoa.
Where is this?
Yeah.
Where is this
Timur,
anecdote about? Where is it? Geography.
Don't worry about
Geography.
it.
Geography.
You said no,
And
not
you
even
can come out with your
100,000.
evidence.
Timur,
Wait,
thereupon
Raj.
this-
Are you going to read 50 pages?
Yes,
and
he's
then
gonna
read
read what he wants.
No, one by one.
Yeah, read.
So what?
That's it.
Can I respond to that?
No,
Can I
I'll be
respond to
finished
that?
in 30 seconds.
Yeah, read.
Timur thereupon resolved to put them to death. He proclaimed throughout the camp that every man who has infidel prisoners was to put them to death, and whoever neglected to do so should himself be executed, and his property given to the informer. When this order became known to the guys of Islam, they drew their swords and they put the prisoners to death. 100,000 infidels, impious idolaters, were put to the slave.
Wow.
Mulana Nisiduri, the Ummah, a counselor and a man of learning, who in all his life never even killed a sparrow, now executed 15 of his idolatrous Hindus. Now, can you now say that there was at least 100,000?
Okay.
All right, you can see
I'll
that.
come back to that now.
We want
Now,
your-
ladies and
Let's
gentlemen,
work our way up.
dear
That
friends,
was in one day.
We want your sources.
Not 800
first of
years.
all, when Raj started, he said, I want to talk about the Mughal history from the 10th century to the 16th or 18th. Okay. Firstly, the Mughals,
This is
the
England.
Mughals only
This is
governed,
Pakistan.
the
You guys
Mughals,
need to understand where
the
you are.
Mughals only governed
Manning it.
for,
Can we have some space here,
This
please?
is the UK. We stand where we
the
like.
Mughals only governed India from the 16th
I rephrased that. I said the Islamic conquest.
to the 19th
I
century.
said the
I
Islamic
don't believe
conquest.
you.
I
Show us
rephrased
evidence.
it.
So
Let's
now
go
he
back.
rephrased it,
I rephrased
and
it
he
before.
went to Timur. Was Timur one of the Islamic conquerors? No.
He was it.
I'll explain to you why.
No, I got-
Timur,
Show us evidence.
when he talks about killing infidels, or in Tuzak Timuri, for example, you see when you go on Google and pick up quotes
us
from
the
X,
evidence.
Y, and Z, without context,
when you
without
have your own
studying the
opinion,
historical background, you will know, you will always make mistakes. I'll tell you why. Okay? Now, Timur was a Central Asian conqueror. Timur was very deeply inspired by the tradition of Genghis Khan. Timur wanted to be more of a Genghis Khan than a follower of Islam. Why do I say that? What did Genghis Khan do? Genghis Khan, he completely decimated the eastern civilization of Islam from northern China to Syria. 10 million people were killed by the Mongol armies.
Okay,
no, Timur,
where is your source?
Timur,
Where is your source?
David
We're
Jones.
going to take this as nothing. Show us your
The
source.
Mongols,
You know why?
David Morgan, the
You know
book,
why I say
I'm
this?
giving the references, they don't want to hear. They don't want. David
the why
Morgan,
I say
David Morgan, the Mongols. The book titled The Mongols, David
is why I
Morgan.
say this.
That's my reference.
Timur
Okay.
is a Muslim.
Don't worry, you're not gonna be disappointed on references.
Timur a Muslim?
I don't need a paper. I don't need a paper.
No.
I don't. You Googled it. Google is not going to help
Google
you.
is the
It's
best
going to
one.
land you
I
in a
love
big
Google.
pit.
I'll be Google
Okay,
Raj.
wait.
I'll be
wait.
Google
But
Raj,
that's
man.
why you hate Islam and Muslims.
You have no
That's why you
knowledge.
hate Islam and
You have no
Muslims. Because
knowledge.
you're Googling everything.
You have no knowledge.
Okay.
You have no knowledge.
So-
Admit it by yourself.
So
You have
I'll
no
continue.
knowledge.
With Timur, who did he damage more? Who did he damage more? Timur, he attacked Central Asia, and the people he was fighting were all Muslims. Let me explain. Timur fought a war against the Ottomans, and he captured the Ottoman Emperor Bayezid, the Thunderbolt. He's also known as the Thunderbolt.
Show us your
Bayezid was captured by Timur. The Ottoman Empire almost fell because of Timur's invasion of the Ottoman territory. One. Number two, when did Timur invade India? And in what year?
Yeah, you
What
tell
year
us.
was it?
You tell
What
us.
year was it?
What, Timur?
Yeah.
Between 1398 and 1399.
Thank you. Correct.
He didn't even know
And
that.
who was given?
He didn't
Who
even know
was?
that.
Google.
I
He
said
didn't even know that.
correct.
Google himself.
I
This
said
guy has the
correct.
least knowledge in the past. No, but this guy has the least knowledge in the past. In his
I'll
own
continue,
words,
I'll continue.
in his own words, he has no
So,
knowledge.
can you all turn the camera to this
Yeah,
guy
turn
so
it to
everyone
me.
can see?
I'll show
everyone
you.
can see
I'll show
who
you
is
here.
the heckler,
I'll show
who
you
is
here.
really
Right
bitter
here.
about no attention towards it.
Rashid's own
Okay,
words.
now turn back.
Rashid's own
Turn
words
back.
here.
Okay.
He has the least knowledge. I
So,
am
ladies and
possibly
gentlemen, I'll continue.
the one with the weakest knowledge. That's his own
We
words.
cannot have a discussion on this president.
Eric is here.
He has to go. He has to go.
I'm possibly the
He has
one
to
with
go.
the weakest knowledge. People in the past
Okay,
in terms of knowledge.
stop recording.
You have no knowledge. We want to see your sources.
Until you.
So can we concede there was
No,
100,000?
I want to see your sources.
Then we can go
I'll
from
only
there.
I'm sorry,
discuss when it's
it
gone.
worked
Can you
both
concede
ways.
there was 100,000?
No. No.
All right, let's.
I have to finish.
Can I give you another
I have to
source?
finish.
No, you're
I
not.
have to-
Can
I
I
have
give
to
you another
finish.
source?
No.
Nonsense.
Raj,
Timur.
Raj,
Not Timur.
don't play these games.
Where is
Don't
your
let me
source?
get lost. Let me have a discussion.
Get
Don't have a
lost.
discussion.
Right, what
Don't have
I'm
a
saying
discussion.
now-
Muhammad al-Ghazani.
Raj. These games are not going to
Just
help you.
about to
It's not
leave.
going to
Gary,
recover your lost.
I don't care.
Your
He's
lost
acting
honor.
weak.
You're not going to
He
recover
heckles every
that.
week.
By doing this, you have to get rid of him.
No.
Do you want to have a discussion?
I don't
Get rid of your
honor from other
BS
people.
and show us some facts.
We'll only have a discussion when he's
Get rid of the BS and show us some facts. Needed facts. Right. Show us the
Tell
facts.
Gary to go.
I can't tell you
This
to go.
is, look, every week he gets away with this.
That's fine. Then we
He
can.
gets
we'll have
away
to
with
talk another time.
giving out false
Give 5 more minutes,
information.
Gary.
We'll have to talk
5
another
more
time.
I want to see facts.
5 minutes time.
5 minutes of facts.
We'll have to talk another time.
5 minutes of facts.
Now, are you just so that we know? You're saying Timur was not Muslim.
The problem is this.
Are you
I'll
saying
tell you.
I'll have the discussion when he's
I'll
gone.
show you
I'm just
here.
asking yes or no.
I'll have the discussion when he's gone.
Answer yes or no.
I will answer you more than
I
you can
am
imagine,
one
but
of
let him
the
go.
weakest
Let him
people
go.
in the past
Because we can't have a
in
discussion.
terms of
I can't
knowledge.
speak when he's speaking on top of me.
You can answer
This
yes
is
or
his
no.
own words.
This guy's bitter.
That's how
He's
idiot.
dying for
I
attention.
am
He's not gonna- We're not going to give him that.
I am the weakest person in the past in terms of knowledge. His own words. You remember saying that? You remember saying that? You have no knowledge. You have the
I know you're
weakest
bitter.
knowledge.
I know you're bitter.
I'm only bitter
I know
because you won't change your clothes.
I know you're bitter.
Gary, I know you got.
This is how clowns see
I'm not
humbleness.
starting until he leaves.
You never claim you know
I want
everything.
to see facts.
And I do think he's a very intelligent guy, and he has
Now,
got
please,
facts.
intelligent
Myself
what?
personally, sorry, we're
Don't
all
record yet until he
So,
gets.
so
Until he
I know
goes.
you've got a
It don't
different life
matter.
experience, but the thing is, I want to hear what he says, even though I disagree with it, because for me, I want to hear their opinion of another person who's denying something that I think is one of the worst atrocities in human history.
You want to talk about it, Raj? Are you a decent person? I'm sure you are, right?
He's not.
So let's not go on with the rhetoric.
not.
Get rid of him, and we will
Raj,
continue
Raj,
until
Raj.
2 more hours.
You said to me,
I can't tell a grown man
Raj,
to go.
We're not having a discussion.
listen.
Okay, let's go.
So let's just quick, one thing before you go. Is Timur Muslim?
No,
So Timur, if I can prove to you Timur is Muslim,
I'm not having a
He's not having
discussion.
discussion. That's what happens when you get...
You can have a discussion with him.
No, you have a debate. Why are you? Why are you
now? I want to tell the history of India now. Yeah.
No, don't, bruv. You won.
No, let me go by myself now. I want to tell the history of India because
KO.
the thing is,
Everybody walks.
50 and all 27.
50.
Realizing the two Timurs,
yeah.
the Timur Kud Road, which I think you're talking about.
Everyone walks.
Oh, it doesn't
You
matter.
come in lying, I will find out the lies.
But the thing
And
is,
you have to disappear.
I want to say something that he never. I wasn't allowed to go through the other Mughal rulers. Yeah, that would have showed and established that the atrocities that he's denying, in my opinion, is one of the worst things to say, that there was no atrocities in India. For me, that's an affront. I can like him as a person, but I will not accept someone denying a Holocaust in India. Those are my people that were massacred 300 million over 800 years by an Islamic conquest. Yeah. So by someone denying it is the same as denying the Holocaust. So I had to berate him, even though I respect him. Now I'm going to go through a few more facts here, so you can listen. So the Afghan ruler Muhammad al-Ghazani, yeah, between 1001 to 1026, yeah, in a book called Takari-ya-i-Yamani, yeah, which was written by his secretary, said the blood of the infidels flowed so copiously at the Indus city of Tanassar, but the stream was discoloured, notwithstanding its purity, and people were unable to drink it. The infidels, yeah, deserted the fort and tried to cross the foaming river of dead bodies. But many of them were slain, taken or drowned. Nearly 50,000 men were killed in one go.
Source? What's the source?
My source is Tariq-i-Yamani.
Right, at least you have a source.
Yeah, it's a source,
Well done, bro.
and it's done by his secretary. It's an official Islamic source. The other one, yeah, you have another one.
What's the source? Always give the source.
Yeah, the source is by Hassan Nizam Nashipuri, yeah, and it's called a Taj al-Masai. I can't even say these Islamic words, man. Can't be bothered. It stated, yeah, that when Qutab al-Din Abak, yeah, conquered Meerut, which is in India, he demolished all the Hindu temples. He demolished all the Hindu temples of the city and erected mosques on their sites. In the city of Aligarh, he converted Hindu inhabitants to Islam by the sword and beheaded all those who adhered to their own religion.
Can you repeat the last track though again? Repeat that again.
Yeah,
Let's
so
say it one more time.
in the city of Aligarh, he converted Hindu inhabitants to Islam by the sword and beheaded all those who adhered to their own religion.
Right.
Yeah, the Persian historian Musaf writes in his book, Taziyata ul Amasab, I'm not going to even say it. And then when Alal din Kajal, an Afghan Turkish origin, in 1295, between 1295 and 1316, captured the city of Kambiyat and the head of the Gulf of Cambay. He killed all the adult male Hindu inhabitants for the glory of Islam.
Right.
That is their writing.
Right.
Yeah?
That's from their
Set
sources.
flowing rivers of blood, sent the women of the country with all their gold, silver and jewels to his own home, and made about 20,000 Hindu maidens, just the women, his private sex slaves.
There you go. Bro, well done.
I've got another
He's wrapped it
15,
up.
20 pages.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah?
Let's
Shall we
wrap
go
it.
on?
No, let's wrap it up.
Let's go
You done
back.
well.
Thanks.
This is
I
the
loved
man.
it. I loved it.
Thank you.
And I was telling you to stop.
No, don't.
I know you're saying
Make sure you put this up.
I'm going to start with from 1001 to 1026. Now, there's an Afghan ruler, Mahmud al-Ghazani. Is he Muslim?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Very
so
good Muslim.
We can say he's
Very,
Muslim,
we say
yeah?
very good Muslim.
Now, do you believe in the book, the Tariq-i-Yamani?
I don't know how you
It's
pronounce it.
it's done by his secretary. I butcher
Where is
butcher
it?
Arabic
Where is
here,
the word?
so I'm not doing it on purpose.
Yeah, Tariq Yamini.
yeah,
Because his title was
So,
Yamin
so
al-Dawla.
do you believe in that book that is authentic?
Let me answer your question. Not a single Muslim history, starting from the Middle Ages to this day, is 100% authentic. There is no historical document from the day one, from the histories written by Herodotus, the Greek historian, to this day is 100% accurate. There are inaccuracies, there is anachronism in them, and there are exaggerations.
So can I read the bit then, and you can correct whether you think it's
Yeah,
anachronism?
let me address the earlier point I was making. With regards to Timur, if you study the history of Timur, Timur Lane, also known as Timur Lane, you will come to realize he caused more damage to Muslims than anyone else. If you want to call him an Islamic invader, an Islamic ruler, or an Islamic activist, a great Muslim, a good Muslim, like a lot of people call ISIS today, good Muslims, a perfect embodiment of
No
Islam.
one's saying that.
No,
You're
I'm giving
using a red herring.
this is
You're trying to distract them.
you can
Just
ignore
be
that.
honest, was he Muslim? Because you said before he's not Muslim.
He was a new convert to Islam.
He was,
His father.
all right,
Okay.
he's admitted it. All right, fair
Yeah.
enough, good. Can we just move forward now?
Okay.
So
Well-
the 100,000 I said before, which you denied and said he wasn't Muslim.
No,
you
we
said-
were talking about Mughals.
Hold
Raj,
on.
Can we?
We were already
we
established.
were
that
talking about
Islam.
Mughals.
We just established
Last
over
week.
there.
Okay, first let us.
Can we rewind? Did we not establish, just as we started, we're talking about Islamic
So
conquest
you keep
now.
using the
You're
100,000 number against me. We were
Because
talking
that
about
used-
Mughals at
hold
the
on,
time.
do you-
Mughals only governed for
I'm
3
gonna
centuries.
I'm going to get the video. I'm going to play it where you categorically said not even 100,000 Hindus
by
were slaughtered.
Aurangzeb.
No, you didn't.
By
do you want me to
Aurangzeb.
get- Do you want me to get it? Shall I play it?
Do you really want to play it?
Yeah.
Play it.
Go on, come on,
Okay.
let's play it.
And see what we were talking about. Go on. Play it. No problem.
So,
Everyone's going to have to wait until you play
so
it.
just so that we can kind of move on, so we're not. I'm just not
Yeah.
just looking through this. We're gonna make sure that the actual discussion is
The
about
problem
the
is-
Islamic conquest.
When you throw a point at me, have the patience to listen to my response.
I know. Can I just say?
That because my agenda in this is to educate people. My
Right.
agenda is not to win a debate against you. I don't care about winning or losing. I really want people to have a good view of historical narrative and how history is studied and how it is interpreted, right? So when you throw a number at me, be prepared to hear the answer. And if you don't like my answer, ask me why my answer is the way it is, and I'll tell you where the references are. You can go back and check. Last week we were talking about Mughals in particular. You
Yeah,
didn't
no.
come out with this Islamic conquest idea. Okay.
I know what you're trying to do. It's a very clever tactic, but it's not going to work.
I don't
with
need
me.
to be clever.
Because the Mughals were Islamic.
You know, people watching us out there, they're not stupid.
I'm
They're
very
not stupid.
disappointed in
If
you,
I'm
Adnan.
trying to be clever, they will know I'm trying to be clever and I'm trying to manipulate things. Let them decide. Let them decide whether I'm being manipulative. Let's talk about facts. It's a very long video, Raj. People can go and
Right, so
watch the
basically,
video.
if you go to, what is it? Was it a misguided Sikh? A very, very, very lovely title.
No, just say
Amazing.
Adnan and Raj.
Yeah, Adnan and Raj,
Speaker's
the
Corner, Adnan
misguided
and Raj.
Sikh. Or was it the insincere Sikh or the fake Sikh? I don't know now. You know, the Dawa channels are amazing at titles. They're actually hysterical, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you're right.
The thing is,
You're right about
I think
that.
you guys need to grow up because you shouldn't be kind of. You're making yourself look really, really petty.
But Raj, you're the
Oh, so can I just say
Raj,
something?
you're the man who's commenting disgusting things
Because
on
I'm a
in the comment section. I'm reading your comments and I'm
Can
thinking,
I-
is this the same Raj I spoke to? The gentlemanly,
Do you know what-
the loving and compassionate
Adnan,
Raj.
I'm a-
In one sentence you're saying I love Muslims. In the next sentence you're expressing
I know.
extreme
I know.
hate.
Now what I-
This is just. It's
what
like,
it is-
yeah, is this the same
What-
person
no,
typing
no,
both
what
these
I,
comments?
What I say, I love
Yeah.
Muslims.
Yeah.
They're hilarious. They're so angry all the time. And so I write stuff
do I
like
look
that.
angry to you now?
I know, but it's just a joke. If you troll me, I'm going to troll you a million times back.
Raj,
Sikh-
why do
the
you-
Sikhs are
Raj-
with the Sikhs are not like
Raj, my
Christians.
videos get like
Sikhs are not like
sometimes.
Christians. I'm going to fight back a million times worse.
Raj,
if you
Raj,
chuck a bomb
Raj,
at me, I'm chucking
my
a nuclear
videos
bomb.
get thousands of
I know,
hits
but I'm
on
not
daily basis.
I'm not
If I start to
pacifist.
respond to every single comment, I will be
Can I
dead in
say
a week.
something here? I'm so thorough. I've actually responded to every single comment. I'm just that type of person.
No, Raj, you will
Yeah,
exhaust
I'm sorry,
yourself.
I don't.
You will exhaust
I never
yourself.
get bored.
Don't do that. Don't do
don't-
that.
you don't know your
But coming back to our
disappointment.
discussion,
I'm a very petty person
Timur,
when it
very
comes to
quickly,
that. Yeah,
Timur, very quickly, the numbers and the people he killed.
So he's Muslim. Did you say he wasn't
If you
Muslim?
wanna- if you
let's,
wanna-
just,
okay.
let's just establish
Okay,
that fact.
Timur was a Muslim king
Oh.
from Central Asia.
Do you rewind it back?
And Timur was a Muslim king. His father had converted to Islam. He was a very new Muslim with very little knowledge of Islam, and he was following the tradition of Genghis Khan. Timur was more of a follower of Genghis Khan than the Prophet of Islam. Why do I say that? Now ask me to substantiate my claims and qualify my statements. Timur, when you look at his actions, he devastated at least 2 Muslim empires, if not more. Let me give you an example. He devastated the Ottomans, capturing the Ottoman emperor in the battle, okay, and putting him in a cave, making an example out of him. Then Timur attacked Damascus. He attacked, who was in Damascus? Who was? Hindus? Christians? Who? Muslims. Muslims were in Damascus, and one of the greatest scholars of the time, Ibn Khaldun. Ibn Khaldun, who is one of the greatest historians, was inside the city. And when Timur, his tradition was when he could capture a city, and if it resisted, he would massacre the entire population, Muslim or non-Muslim. He didn't care about anyone. He was a plain killer. He went to India in 1398. He invaded India, and the Sayyids were governing at the time. The Sayyid dynasty was devastated or decimated by Timur the Lung. Okay, so when you bring out quotes talking about Timur killing infidels, you're obviously picking and choosing. You're being dishonest about history, like a lot of Islamophobes. I'm not here, you're saying Islamophobe. I'm not saying you are an Islamophobe. Whatever websites you took this from, I will name the websites and the books. You know, people who have selectively taken quotes from chronicles written during the Middle Ages to inflate the warlike impression of the rulers they wanted to praise, and even them you want to quote selectively. So Timur wreaked more damage against Muslims than any other group of people on the planet. So how good a Muslim was he? Yes, so that's my response to Timur.
Thank you, Adnan. Thank you. Let me say something. Yeah, your reasoning, fair enough. He killed fellow Muslims. I never said he
No,
did.
he killed everyone.
All right, he killed everyone. But
Everyone, yeah.
But there's a basic kind of foundation I wanted to build today, because you said last week not 100,000. So we've established it was 100,000 and a Muslim massacred 100,000.
No, we haven't established.
We've established it.
No.
You said he's Muslim, even though a new convert.
No,
someone converted today.
Do you believe that quote then? Do you actually believe that
what
quote?
do you want me to do? You're telling me to bring quotes and references. I'm giving you the references.
No.
Do
Do you know what historical?
What do I need to do? Go back in the past and literally witness it myself. Come back and then give you first-hand
Very
experience.
good point. Okay.
Where do you draw
What
the
I
line?
mean by references is, if you believe this, do you believe it?
I'm going to email you all this.
Okay.
And we'll have another discussion with the references.
I have a library of 4,000 books,
Yeah,
mostly
good.
on
So
history.
we can sit
Mostly
down,
on
we can bring the
history.
books.
Mostly on history. So these emails.
And maybe your books are biased.
No.
Oh.
But because
What
most of my books
So
are
your
written
books-
by Western scholars.
All right.
They have no agenda to praise
We'll
Islam.
go to Western scholars then. You
Okay.
established that Western scholars.
Okay. So you want to abandon that claim now?
No, I'm not going to ban it because I've established it already.
Okay. No. So let's talk.
All
Can we
right,
finish that
You're
first?
talking about Western.
Can we finish that first?
Can I talk because you've spoken quite a lot?
Okay.
Yeah. You're now saying that Western scholars. Do
Yeah.
you use Western scholars from the 19th, 20th century?
It depends who.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But
Are you
do
quoting Eliot and Dawson?
Do you?
Are you going to quote?
So this particular reference, he won't accept. Right, I'm going to go through. Do you know a guy called Irfan Hassan?
Irfan Hussain.
Yeah, Irfan Hassan.
He's not a Western scholar. That's a
he's
Muslim name.
I'm going to start with a Muslim first then.
Okay.
Yeah, he's done an article, The Demons from the Past. Yeah, now.
Who is he? Is he a Muslim?
Well, from the name, he sounds like he may be.
No, there are names. Majid
Majid
Nawaz. Majid Nawaz claims to. Salman
Yeah,
Rushdie is a Muslim name.
I can only go by his name. So
Yeah.
let me read what he said.
No, listen. Someone who has a Muslim name doesn't necessarily mean he's a Muslim.
You know, I'm going to say something here.
No,
I'm so
can you-
disappointed because
Raj, can you bring out academic sources?
Can I say something?
Academic sources.
How do you determine who's an academic?
People who are.
Do you determine it? Are you God?
No, I'll tell you.
Do you pass a degree for the person?
No, I'll tell you.
Do I need to bring him here and for you to speak to him, for you to judge if he's academic?
Can I tell you who is an
I
academic?
know, but your reasoning is completely flawed.
Have you been to university, Raj?
I'm sorry, Adnan, you're disappointing me
Raj,
because I
have you
thought you
been
was
to
more of a
uni-
powerhouse, yeah? And you are belittling yourself and putting yourself down.
But Raj, have you
Yeah,
been to
you need
university?
I've got a degree in engineering. yeah?
Okay. So
So-
you know what academics are, right?
Of course I know
Who are
what
they? Okay,
academics
can you tell us who they
Come
are?
on, dude.
Who are
I'm
they?
not going to play the game. Let's carry on.
Who are they?
So Irfan
Raj,
Hussain, yeah?
did you
He's-
when you
while
studied
his-
engineering,
while
did
historical
you
events
did you
should be
read the
judged
books
in
of
the context
did you
of the
read the
time?
books of a medical doctor on engineering?
I
Did you?
done engineering product design.
So who
it
did you
was
read when
designing
you wrote
products.
your essays? Who did you quote in your essays? People who are experts in engineering, or people who are experts in astrophysics or philosophy or
But
theology?
I'm asking
Who did you
do
quote?
you determine who's an expert?
He had to walk around us so
How
that
do you
people can
determine
see who
who's
he
an
is.
expert? Every reference I've given you, Steve, my man, every reference I've given you, you have said that reference is not valid, but your books in your house are all valid. How do you determine
When
what
did I
is
say
valid
that?
or not?
When did I say that?
You have, I'm not lying, I hope everyone can see, I'm not going to be bad, I'm going to be truthful with you, yeah? I had more respect for you. Because the thing
And
is
you've
you're
lost
being-
it.
you're
I can't
ei-
help that.
You're
I'm
either
really
being
sorry about that.
disingenuous or you're outright lying.
Okay.
Yeah? and I don't know which one it is yet. I will determine by the end of the day.
Can you tell me where I lied?
Because the thing is, you last week
Yeah.
said there was no Indian Holocaust. That not even 100,000.
I didn't even use these words. I didn't even use these words. What did I say? What did I actually say?
I said, this is exactly, I'm going to say exactly what I said. I said, did 300 million people die over 400 years? You said no. I said,
And I said that's impossible.
That's impossible.
Yes.
What about 150 million? He said, that's impossible.
Yes.
And then you said, not even 100,000.
During the Mughal period, yes.
You didn't say that. I've got it
And
on
in
camera. My point is, you're a Holocaust denier of the Indian genocide.
There was no genocide in India
There
during
is
the
an
Mughal
Indian
period.
genocide that you are denying, which
Who was the genocide against?
against everybody that was an infidel.
Right, who, for example?
Me, the Sikhs, the Hindus, your forefathers.
Okay,
probably.
where was the Sikh
Maybe
where
the guys
was
that are
the
from
Sikh
Pakistan.
genocide? Where was the Sikh
We're
genocide?
not talking about the Sikh genocide. I said to you before, it's the
Okay,
Hindu
define
genocide.
genocide. What is genocide?
It's on a whole population
Yeah.
of people
Because of their religion
because of their
or-
religion or
yeah.
faith.
Very good.
Is targeted
Very good.
and eliminated.
So all Sikhs were being killed
So-
during the Mughal. No. Stick to the topic now. All Sikhs were being killed by the Mughals
You're
during
going back to
the
Sikhs,
Mughal
you're trying
period.
to be clever.
No. You're
I said
making.
Hindus.
I'm clever. I'm trying
I
to be
said
clever.
Hindus.
You're
We
throwing
had a
things at me
remix.
and you don't want
Sikhs
responses.
were not around in the
So,
16th
okay.
century.
Okay,
I
wait.
said between the
Wait.
I said
Okay.
between the 10th and the 15th.
Let's stick to the Sikhs.
Sikhism was
That's
not
where we
here.
started the discussion.
Yeah, all
Sikhs,
right, we had a
because you
remix
keep crying
before.
about the number,
No, he's trying
and
to get,
we were
what he's
talking
trying
about
to do,
Mughals.
guys, he's trying to
Listen,
get me
he wants to
emotionally
stick to
involved
the numbers,
by bringing
and
the
then he wants
Sikhs
to jump
in,
around everywhere.
Even though we had a remit saying only from the 10th to the 15th, and there was no Sikhism, because Sikhism was born in the 15th century. So let's not be disingenuous, or are you lying? I don't know which one it is yet.
Okay,
so
Raj,
let's-
I'm going to ignore all of that. I'm going to stick to the claim. You made a claim there was a genocide of the infidels during the Mughal period. And then I challenged you. I asked you where. You said Sikhs and Hindus. Where? And
right.
I asked you to define the genocide.
Am
You
I-
said people who are being killed because of their religion.
the thing is,
so you now have to explain
Hold on.
where the Sikhs were being indiscriminately
Hold on.
they were being killed
Hold on.
in India by the
All
Mughals.
right.
Yeah.
This is the
Go
problem,
on.
yeah. The conversation.
You're gonna
this
now
conversation,
historically-
yeah, I'm gonna walk up and walk away. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you are not
No,
allowing.
Raj, you don't
are
want to
not-
talk
hold on,
about
hold on.
this.
You are not allowing
You
me to
don't
use
want
my
to talk
own
about this.
reference, and you're saying they're disingenuous or Islamophobic, whereas you can use your own references and they are okay. I cannot have a conversation with you like that. How can I debate you if you're not accepting my facts?
Raj, you just claimed
what-
there was
even
a
when-
genocide of the
Hold on,
infidels
before
during
we
the
can
Mughal period.
Before we can even carry on,
Raj,
I need to
I'm really
understand that
disappointed.
you are gonna, dude, yeah, you're disappointed, yeah.
Why can't you talk? Why
You're-
can't you
no,
talk?
I can't talk to someone who's so unreasonable. You have to make
How am
logical
I
sense.
unreasonable, Raj?
You are not accepting you're not accepting my references. Every single one.
No,
even your own references.
If you're
going to
bring Salman Rushdie, if you're going to bring
Hold on.
Robert Spencer, Tommy Robinson as a reference,
Oh
I'm going
my
to throw it
God.
at you.
What a-
I'm going to throw it back
what a
at
straw
you.
man argument.
No,
Oh my
exactly.
God, straw
So
manning.
qualify
Oh
your
my
references.
God, dude.
Qualify your
All right,
references.
let's go.
Okay,
Can I
don't bring
talk?
some Tom, Dick, and
Can
Harry
I have 5 minutes?
as a
Can I have
historian.
2 minutes to talk? All right, so
Okay,
let's get references.
so can we go back to
Can
the
I
question of
talk?
genocide?
Before, what did we agree?
You are a Sikh
What did
who
we
came
agree?
prepared with
What
paperwork,
did we
and you
agree?
can't tell me where the genocide is.
So when I come with paperwork, and last week I had no paperwork, you said, why did you come with no paperwork? What do you want me to do? When I come with the paperwork, you're
Let's talk
upset.
about Hindus.
When I don't, you're
Let's
upset.
talk about Hindus. Where was the
The
genocide
Hindus.
during the
All right,
Mughal period?
I'm going to give. Now, I want to ask you. Do you know who? Sorry, in the contemporary record, Taj ul Asid. It's a contemporary record, yeah, from a guy called Tab al-Din Abak. He was a Turkish Afghan origin between the 1194.
You're
to
talking
12.
about Taj al-Mu'asir?
Yeah, I butchered the Arabic
Qutbuddin
language.
Aibak, yeah.
Do
Qutbuddin
you agree
Aibak.
he's a Muslim?
When did he govern? Do you know? I know.
Just the foundation. Is he a Muslim?
Yes.
Yeah. So he did conquer India. Do you agree with that?
No.
Oh, so what do? Did he go there and pick flowers?
You don't know what you're talking about, are you?
So let me read what
Okay.
your sources
Oh, wait,
said.
wait.
Yeah.
Raj, when you want to talk to me about history, you better know what you're talking about. Who is Qutbuddin Aibak? How long did he govern? Where did he govern? And who was he? Can you tell me? Wait. You're using claims against me. You don't know who these
I'm
people
going to
are.
read.
Who are
I'm
they?
going to read your own sources. Yeah. This is from the contemporary.
Can you be quiet,
This
please?
is from a record. Yeah, that was written down. Yeah,
We're having a very decent discussion. It's a civil discussion.
By-
Raj is okay. I'm fine.
by-
There are no punches. There's no pushing. There's no
Can
physicality.
I
measure,
speak?
no
Please,
punches.
please let me talk here. Let's
Raj,
be respectful.
Raj,
You're not letting me talk.
Who's Qutbuddin Aibak?
Dude,
How long did he
dude,
govern?
Dude,
He only governed 4 years. How can he
allow
conquer?
anyone to
You're
talk
not letting
for
me
2
talk.
seconds.
He only governed 4 years.
You're not. It doesn't matter. Someone could do. Hitler only governed for 10.
Yeah,
What did he do?
10 years is long enough to
Oh
destroy
my God,
people.
you're really clutching at straws here. Now let me just read what I said. Yeah, the guy called Hassan, you could look it up, Nizam Neshipuri. Yeah, I'll butcher Arabic. I'm sorry. Yeah, in the book, Taj al-Masud, it's a contemporary record, yeah? Yeah.
Can I read it? Can I
no,
read the name?
I will read it. Why do you need
But you're
to?
not reading it correctly.
It doesn't matter. I'll butcher it.
But
all
I
day.
need to know what you're quoting.
I love butchering Arabic language. It's my favourite thing.
I
think internally I can't say it because
Raj,
I dislike
I need to
certain
know what
people
you're quoting.
from that particular. I can't say Wizard Khan. I always say it wrong.
If you say Harry Potter
Hold
and then you want to quote
hold
from
on,
it,
can I
hello.
say it?
I need to know what you're
Turkey,
quoting.
Afghan origin,
Can I
yes,
see
and
the
the
name?
first Sultan,
Can I
you're not
read
going to
the name
believe
of
it
the source?
anyway.
Oh my
Let me
God.
say it first, of Delhi, yeah? 1194 to 1210. Conquered Mirat, yeah?
Who conquered?
He demolished...
Who?
Oh my God, Kutab ul-Din Apek. Do you want me to butcher it again?
No, it's
do
Qutb
you
al-Din.
enjoy, do you enjoy me butchering Arabic language?
From what period? From what period?
From 1194 to 1210, yeah?
Right.
He said, conquered Mirat. He demolished all the Hindu temples of the city and
Okay.
erected mosques on their sites.
Okay.
In the city of Aligarh, yeah, he converted Hindu inhabitants to Islam by the sword and beheaded all those who adhered to their own religion.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
So what's the source? What's the source?
I'm going to send you an email of the sources. Yeah,
Right.
I've got it on.
Taj al-Ma'asir by Hassan Nizami. It is stated. Where is the? How do you know the quote is actually from there? How do you know
I'll have
actually
to buy the
quote is from
book.
there?
I'll have to probably talk to
Right.
the person who's
Right.
written it.
Now,
What is your criteria
now
for accepting your
let's assume the
quotes?
quote. I'm going to give you that one.
Let's establish
I'm going to
the
give you that much. The
criteria.
quote is there. No problem.
No, what is the
Let's
criteria?
assume the
Because
quote is
then
there.
I won't believe anything
criteria,
you say.
My
There
God.
has not been one time that I've said to you what you said is incorrect.
Okay,
I've
you finish
rebutted
and then
you.
I'll talk.
I've rebutted you. You cannot debate by just shutting everyone saying their sources are not correct. Yeah, all right.
Carry
so,
on, carry on.
So we're going to go with another
Can I
one.
can I
yeah?
respond to that one first?
So you go for that one.
Okay.
You were sitting back
Qutbuddin
silent.
Aybak.
Couldn't even
Qutbuddin
follow your own
Aybak
instructions.
was a servant of the conqueror of India, known as Muhammad bin Sam
I bet he loved his children as well.
Shahabuddin Ghori.
So did Hitler. He was a vegetarian.
Ghori. No, I'm talking.
I know. I'm just saying people can do.
No, no,
confuse
no.
this stuff.
As I said,
You
Raj,
don't.
You interrupted me
Raj,
so many
Raj,
times,
you seem
man.
to have come back to
You've
recover
interrupted me
your
so
lost
many times,
honor.
man.
You know, your lost honor from the last week, and you're desperate
There
about
it
it.
is.
I'm not desperate
Are
about
you
it.
serious?
I'm trying
watched the
to.
video.
You weren't
I
there.
watched the video, but I watched the video.
You never saw it.
Okay.
And they were
He
saying
hates
no
the
honour
Punjab,
laws.
yeah. In the videos going, Punjab, Punjab, Punjab. There's something about him. I love that dude. I'm from Punjab and I'm proud of it, yeah. But he hates the Punjab.
So am I.
Ah, here we're brothers, man.
Yeah, brothers, in the sense that we.
Yeah, we should talk about history. Let's not at one
My
time. Let's
my
talk about
my
pre-Islamic history, though.
my grandmother is Punjabi. She's Jat, actually, by the way.
See, this is
You
what we've
know,
got in common.
Yeah.
He's my
So,
Punjabi brother,
yeah.
man.
So she's Jat. She's actually Jat Vadai.
We will talk
you know,
about
so-
stuff that are non.
so-
let's
so-
talk in the future
Yeah.
about stuff that are not controversial as well. Let's talk about pre-Islamic history as well of the Indus Valley.
Can I deal
Oh
with
no,
the,
let's go like
can
in
I
the
deal
future,
with
in the future.
the things you threw at me?
Yeah.
Okay. Qutbuddin Aybak only governed as a king from 1206 to 1210. Okay, he only governed for 4 years. He was working for a man called Shahabuddin Ghori. So even your references are dodgy. I don't know where they're coming from because he was not the
Google.
one. He was not the one who conquered India. It was
I'm the
his
new
master.
Google Raj.
It was his master. No, let me finish,
I know, sorry.
Raj,
Go,
please.
go.
It was Shahabuddin Ghori, man who was who was assassinated in 1206 in his tent in Pakistan, in the Punjab region, by the way, and he's buried there. He came from Afghanistan. He conquered. He defeated the last great Hindu king of India called Prithvi Raj Chauhan. Okay, and during this war, a lot of atrocities were committed. War is ugly, right? Now, with regards to these very common references in both Hindu and Muslim sources of temple desecrations, Richard Eaton is a Western academic.
Where's the valid source for that then?
He's the source.
Can I meet the guy?
He is the source.
Can I meet him?
You can read his book.
Where is he? Is he alive?
No, yes.
So can you see the silliness
Wait.
of your arguments when you're interrupting me?
When you
Can
finish.
see
When you finish.
I know, but I need to make the point very clearly. You are shutting me down every time I put a source, even your own source.
If you don't know what I'm going to say,
I know, but look how silly it is. How offended are you?
Who?
How stupid do you think
I'm
I
not
am?
offended.
Well, you should be.
I'm not offended.
Because if you're in any type
Richard
of intelligence,
Eaton-
you would accept any of my arguments and the references, look them up, and then rebut it afterwards.
Okay.
Don't keep on shutting me down. So every time you do it, I will shut you down until you stop doing it to me.
Okay.
Yeah, agreed?
Okay.
So do your
Richard
references.
Eaton is an academic who has published books for Oxford University.
He's a real
Press.
person,
Okay,
not an
academic.
Islamophobe.
He's an academic. The reason why I'm going to ignore the rhetoric.
I know,
no
sorry,
problem.
you're
No
talking
problem.
all of us as
Raj,
Islamophones.
you're making yourself
I
look
know,
more
but
stupid.
you're-
By the minute.
Can I just
by
say
the
something?
minute,
I've
you're
given you
looking more
references,
stupid.
yeah?
Yeah.
I've given you references. The most laziest argument is to call someone an Islamophobe or a racist. I'm a Brexiteer. I vote for Brexit to close the borders.
racist.
I'm a racist. Yeah. Now it's shutting down conversation when you go to such low levels. Yeah, by branding people Nazis or
If
racists.
you want to talk about Brexit,
I know, but I'm just
you will
trying
look
to-
more stupid.
I'm just
If
trying
we
to
talk
explain
about it,
to
you will look more stupid.
Dude,
you will look more stupid.
Dude, I want to close
You
all
know,
the borders.
Now those who
I want-
voted for
no,
Brexit
seriously.
are crying.
I want to intern
They
people.
want another referendum
Dude, I am
to take it back, to
if I took-
reverse
if I-
it.
if I took
Okay,
control of
so
this
you're
country-
one of those foolish people who voted for not even understand. It wasn't even about
Going off
immigration.
tangent
I didn't
It
do
was
anything.
even
about
immigration will not change.
Sovereignty.
Brexit does not
I
have
want the UK
any.
to govern itself.
Can you
you
lecture him on
understand
Brexit?
I'm with him.
Really?
On
I-
everything.
I'm not
I don't want
surprised.
the EU
I'm
to
not
dictate.
surprised.
I don't want the EU to dictate.
Why did you ask?
Can
Let's
you
not
go,
talk about this.
Raj,
Let's
can you
talk
go
about
back to
this.
history?
Yeah.
History. That's why my concern is I want to teach people history, not listen to you and my concerns
but you don't even
about
take my
Sikhs and
sources,
Muslims.
man. Come
Right.
on.
So Qutbuddin Aibak could not have possibly killed all those people and desecrate all those temples because Richard Eaton, people like him, have conducted extensive research into temple desecrations in particular.
They have a time machine.
Muslims destroying no, because their temples are still there.
You know that
Archaeology,
things can change
the,
over time.
the field of archaeology is there. Islamophobes don't like to hear these arguments, and they hate these scholars.
bet if the same
They
guy-
hate these scholars.
I bet,
Yes,
I bet if the
yes.
same guy said the other way, he'd be the biggest Islamophobe in the world.
Hindu right-wing media.
Oh, they're terrible. I
Yeah.
hate them as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah, of
we're
course,
on the
because
same page.
no, you hate them because they are against you.
Of course,
That's
they're
why.
against all
That's why you
Muslims.
hate them. Otherwise, you would be with them.
No,
you would be
they-
just like you are with EDL
No,
and
no,
and
oh
and
my
Britain First
God.
and,
Take that
and
back.
fools like
Take
that.
that back.
You would be with
Take that
them
back.
if
I'm
there
not
were
with it.
4
I'm
Sikhs.
not-
But
I'm-
because they are persecuting Sikhs also,
But can I
that's
do
why
it?
you're against them.
That's a-
That's the
that's a
reality
reason.
of you,
I need
people
to
like
de-
you.
I need to defend myself from that.
Well,
He
let
said-
me finish my
no,
point.
No.
Let's-
I can't let you say that and get away with it.
let me finish my
No, I
point.
can't let you say my EDL
Let
and
me finish
and
my
then put
point.
First guy. No, I need to enforce that. I'm
Let
not
me,
EDL.
let me
I'm putting
finish
first
my
here, but
point.
I believe,
he has become the arbitrator.
I
suddenly.
believe in freedom of speech, freedom of religion, yeah, freedom of
So do
whatever
I.
you want to do.
So do I.
And for me,
So do I.
for
And I'm
me,
not a bigot.
Muslims
I don't
are-
support
are
EDL
infringing
and
on that
Britain
every
First.
day when
No.
I even come here. So please, yeah, do not associate me with those people.
Do you believe in Muslims' freedom of speech as well? Freedom of religion? Yes or no? Yes?
Freedom
Yes
of
or no?
hatred?
Yes?
What the
No,
thing
no,
is-
no.
what the
Do
thing
you
is-
believe in Muslim freedom of religion and
Of-
speech?
of course,
Yes?
of course you can, yeah.
Of course.
But in
So, okay,
in a
that's good.
Sharia- in a
But
Sharia
the
compliant-
people
in a
you
Sharia
stand with
compliant
do
land,
not believe in that.
Can I promote my religion to Muslims?
You're actually
In a Sharia
you're making Sikhs look
compliant-
bad.
In a Sharia
I
compliant
would rather
land,
have another.
in a Sharia
Is there another
compliant
Sikh
land,
out there
can I
who would like to
plus
talk
the-
to me?
what was it?
There was
Can
Jagraj
I-
before.
Yeah, yeah.
Jagraj has passed
I'm-
away, sadly.
I'm not
a
a
very
monolith.
nice man. A very nice
Sikhs
man.
are not a
From
monolith.
basics of Sikhi.
Sikhs are not a monolith.
I need someone
I'm
else.
an individual.
Yeah, I need
know,
someone
I know,
else.
because I kind of
Because
like-
he's giving me too
Do you know
much
what it is?
trouble.
Do you know what
His
it is?
arguments are too strong for me
I'm going to tell you something, yeah? I don't put up with no bullshit, yeah? I'm a no bullshit machine. I want facts, yeah? And I want you to accept my facts until you can disprove them. If I will accept yours, do me the courtesy of accepting mine. Because we can't have
The
a
facts are
respectful
not
dialogue.
yours. The facts are not
You are
yours or
shooting
mine.
down every
Facts
single
are
one of my
facts.
facts. Every
Facts
single one of my,
are not
even his
arbitrary.
own peoples, even the Muslim ones. When I say the Irfan Hussein, is he Muslim? How do I know? I'm not, you know, a mullah or whatever. I can't apostatize him.
So
Yeah,
all
but-
those Sikhs who are killing women and children
Oh,
during the
look what he's
partition
saying.
are the Sikhs.
Where?
Are the,
Look
were
what
the
he's saying.
Sikhs? Were the
And
Sikhs?
what
Were
is
the
this got-
Sikhs?
what
Were the
is this-
Sikhs?
What is this got to do with?
No, were the Sikhs?
What is this
All
got
the
to do-
Sikh men,
See, look at this.
the
Look
Sikhs
at
who
this,
blew
the
up the plane.
laziest
The
argument
Sikhs,
ever.
no.
All the
You're
Dawah
using the same
channels-
argument.
All the Dawah
You are
channels.
using the same
Watch,
argument.
watch.
You're saying, are they Muslims? Ah, they're Muslims.
I didn't say Muslims.
I'm saying, were the Sikhs?
Hold
those
on,
who blew
hold
up the
on,
planes?
hold on,
Oh, no.
hold
Don't
You do
talk
know
about
that- you
Sikhs.
do know that
Don't talk about
Muslims
Sikhs. We're
massacred
different. We're
Hindus and
different.
Sikhs as well.
So I'm using your
It
argument
wasn't just the
against you.
Muslims. They're not like little flowery little pets
Listen,
that walk around like little
Did
kittens.
Sikhs blow up
Yeah.
planes? Did they blow up planes?
What has this got to do with this?
Exactly.
Oh
I'm
my
asking you
God,
the
look at
question.
this.
What
Straw
What
manning,
is someone's
straw
being
manning,
Muslims
history,
got to do
look
with
at
me?
this. You
Or
know-
other Muslims
can I
living
say
today?
something, yeah?
When you say,
Can
was
I
he
say
Muslim?
something to my Muslim brothers?
Man, come
Yeah?
on, man.
Adnan is
wanna
a
have
really
discussion.
decent guy, but today he's let you lot down, yeah? Yeah, and you have to understand that he's not normally this bad. But the thing is, he's not understanding the kind of ethics
Okay,
of
what was
debating.
your argument when you said they're Muslims?
When did I
When
say?
you asked Timur, was he Muslim? Was Qutbuddin Aibak Muslim?
You said he
asked
wasn't
me.
Muslim.
No. You asked me, were they Muslims? And I said they were Muslims. And then you jumped.
Over
Oh,
there-
Muslims.
over
It's been
there,
recorded.
30
It's been
minutes ago,
recorded.
it's on the
What was your
thingy.
argument? When
30
you made
minutes
that?
ago, you said Timur
Raj,
was
Raj,
not Muslim.
can you answer me?
And I said, prove it.
Raj, can
you
you
said,
answer
I
me?
will. We came back here 30
Raj,
minutes later. You said
Raj,
he is Muslim.
Can you answer me? Can you answer me?
What am I supposed to, what am I supposed to take
Raj,
from that?
Raj, when you asked me were they Muslims,
Is it taqiyya?
No. I don't believe in taqiyya. I'm Sunni, by the way. Taqiyya is a Shia concept. It's not a Sunni concept. We don't believe in
I know,
taqiyya.
but the
No,
taqiyya
we don't
is like
taqiyya.
coming out
Come
hard,
on.
man.
No, this is coming.
Shia are
Islamophobia.
influences,
This
Shia.
is now coming.
Oh,
it's-
Islamophobic.
Yeah.
I'm using
Raj,
your own
Raj,
words
you cannot
that
recover
you-
from last
Oh,
week's
my
humiliation. You're trying your hard, but you're not recovering. You're
know-
making it
do you know-
worse for yourself.
where's-
there are Sikhs
where's
out
the-
there cursing you.
Where's the
There are
woman-
Sikhs
I know,
out there. This guy doesn't represent
Those
us.
people.
Really?
Yes, go and
just
read the
making
comments.
this shit
I'm
up.
not-
Go and read.
You're making
There are
this
Sikhs
shit
saying
up.
that
I
this
know.
guy doesn't
I'm
represent
not a
us. You
monolith.
are an Islamophobe.
I'm not a
I
monolith.
think you're an
I
Islamophobe.
I'm
You have a
petrified of
conversation.
Islam. Does that make that makes me an Islamophobe?
You can only shout and scream and ignore me.
But Adnan, you're not letting me put
Exactly.
my sources.
Yes.
You keep
So
interrupting
when you said
me.
were they Muslims, what did you mean?
I had to establish whether. So
Did you
when-
hear
Yeah.
someone
Whether what?
disagree?
Whether what?
whether the people that were conquering the country, the
Yes.
actual leaders, wore out the Islamic faith. I cannot go anywhere
Okay.
until I
And
establish
what's your
that.
point from that, Raj? What's your point?
Because
from
I'm trying to say there was an Islamic conquest
Yes.
of India
So
for
what the
400
Sikhs,
years,
okay.
500 years.
So
period
what
that
the
I'm talking
Sikhs
about.
were doing during the partition was it a Sikh conquest of women and children?
Wow.
Yeah. What was it? What was it? What was
It's a
it? Can you answer the
travesty.
question?
This debate
Yeah,
is a
you have no
travesty.
answer.
It's a
You have no
travesty.
answer,
It's
do
a
you?
travesty.
You have no answer.
Because-
you see how bad you look now?
Because the thing
How
is,
bigoted
the
and
thing is-
hateful you look?
oh my
You know
God.
how
Oh my God! I'm asking genuine
how
questions.
subjective you look when you claim, oh, they were
Oh
Muslims,
my God.
therefore it was Islamic.
I didn't say
okay,
because-
I'm saying the
oh.
same thing. The Sikhs
If
were
they-
blowing up planes. They were killing women and children during the
Oh,
partition.
yes. Look at this
Do
hate.
those
Blowing
Sikhs?
up planes.
Do those Sikhs represent the Sikhs today?
Blowing
No.
up-
Look at this.
Sikhs were blowing up
There
planes.
was a one.
Yes, yes.
There's a one time.
So you're ignorant
He
about it.
said planes.
Oh no, oh yeah, your planes. But what I'm saying is that
Well,
you're,
one plane,
you're
yes.
using
I'll
ad
get it
hominem
right. It was
attacks on
done.
me now, yeah.
It was done.
You're trying to personally attack the Sikhs and me to distract
No,
from your lack
no,
of
Raj,
knowledge.
by Allah, by
And
Allah,
it's very
my
sad
point,
that Adnan,
Raj,
I'm going to tell you
Raj,
something now, to
by
the viewers,
Allah,
yeah,
those who are
I'm so
watching, they know what I'm
disappointed.
doing.
I'm so disappointed, yeah, with the Muslim brothers, this Muslim brother in particular, because I respected him so much, and I still do.
And you lost respect.
I'm going to give, no, I haven't lost it yet, because I think everyone deserves
When
a
will
second
you
chance.
lose it then?
Not like under Sharia, yeah. The thing is, everyone deserves a second chance, yeah. So I will give you a second chance in the future. We'll sit down and I'll let you
No,
get
but why can't we talk
I'll
today?
let you get. I'll
Raj.
actually let you. No, because you won't let me to give sources. You keep shooting
Raj,
them down.
I gave you plenty
And
of
when
time.
I do it to you, you start crying.
My mic is
and
right in
whinging
front of
about
you.
it. It's like you're like chucking the
No,
bottle out. And
Raj,
throwing
you
a
are
fit.
talking about
They're
people you
calling
have
me
no
Islamophobe.
Raj,
Do you know how lazy that
Raj,
is?
you know how
Do you know
bad
how
it is?
lazy that
You
is?
know how bad Google is?
Dude, do you
with
know how
information.
lazy it is to call
If I
someone
use
Islamophobe?
Google to study
Because
Sikhs,
I'm questioning your
if
faith and the conduct
if I
of Muslims.
use Google to
If
study
you
the
said
Sikhs,
about Christians, I wouldn't call you a Christian or
Raj,
whatever it is.
you're
a phone.
ignoring everything I'm saying.
I'm ignoring you because you've got to the point where you're not making any
Raj,
sense.
do you know who Qutbuddin Aibak
What do I
was?
do? I can't talk to you if
Do
you're
you-
like a brick wall.
Okay.
You're not.
Let's not talk over each other.
All right. So
yeah.
are you going to accept or do I need to go back in time, bring the person from a time machine, have them sit here, let them quote to you, send them back? Yeah, do I need to do that to establish
Can
that
I respond?
person?
Can I respond? Yeah. You don't need to do that. With history, you need to qualify
You know
yourself.
history.
Yeah.
He's the person that established what's history. Is that what you're trying to
Because
say?
my field is history.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on. I've
because
met some of the dumbest
no,
people that got
wait,
educated.
wait,
and some people on the street
I've
yeah,
done masters in
are so much
history.
more intelligent. I know, but I'm saying
Raj,
education is
my
not
master-
the key to
my-
intelligence.
My BA was in history. My master's, my PhD
You
was in
could study
history.
for 1,000
So,
years
Raj,
and get
Raj,
50 million
you have studied
qualifications.
engineering.
It doesn't
so
matter.
Can I
It doesn't
humbly,
matter.
with humility, can I express something about history? Historical sources have to be qualified.
Only by you.
By secondary sources.
You.
No, Raj, let me finish.
That's
please.
what it sounds
Let me,
like.
No,
You're
no, Raj,
dictating the whole
Raj, let me
conversation.
finish. Let me finish, please.
You don't even let me talk.
Scholars
so, right, go on.
have to scrutinize the secondary sources, primary sources.
So I can't bring anything until I've got 5 or 6 scholars.
No, what you need to do is, what you need to do is, you need to go and
Do you
study.
know how big this is? Look at this. It's only Atrocities. I couldn't even get it on 16
Raj,
pages.
I can-
just put the font though so small because I ran out of paper. It was going to like 30 pages. So I
Raj,
don't know.
I can print 500 pages like
I
that
know,
and bring
but
them.
it's just
It
so-
doesn't
it's
prove
just
nothing.
over and
What we
over
want,
again.
what we want is a fruitful discussion. What I'm trying to do is, if you bring academic sources, for example, people who have published for Oxford, Cambridge, Princeton, Columbia, or Harvard. Let me, because when I will give you sources, the name I mentioned, Khushwant Singh, remember? I meant to say Khushwant Singh and I said Jaswant Singh. I made an error. Yeah, Khushwant Singh has written for Oxford University. I mentioned him, you didn't mention him. He's a Sikh historian. I told you to go and study him. Okay, he's a Sikh historian who has been published by Oxford. Okay, there are other historians who have been published by Oxford, Cambridge, by reputable institutions, who have conducted deep research into these topics, and they've come up with the conclusions. On the other hand, you have people like Salman Rushdie, people like Robert Spencer, people like...
What is Salman Rushdie got to do with Indian history?
Salman Rushdie.
Yeah. Can I finish? Or Robert Spencer, or Batior, or other Islam haters who have published books with selective quotes, and Christian missionaries. A lot of them, they selectively quote from Muslim chronicles and completely ignore the secondary research done by major academics in the field. That's why they are called liars. So I'm finishing right now. Okay, that's why you will never see Robert Spencer or people you may have taken your sources from quoted in Oxford and Cambridge and Princeton and Columbia books.
We've established that you're quite an elitist. That will only take sources from Oxford, Cambridge, but you will not take any other sources.
And even from Delhi University, Aligarh University, Karachi University, published by university, peer-reviewed.
I'm going to go through a few names of people that in the last 150 years that have written books on the Indian conquest, the Islamic conquest of India.
Who are
Will
they?
you take Will Durant? Yeah,
Will Durant is a philosopher. He has
philosopher, but
I'll tell you
the story of civilization. Do you accept that he's an educated man?
He's a very educated.
All right, so let me.
Very educated, but he's not a source on Indian history.
No, without interrupting me, you've established you respect.
He's not a source on Indian history.
In page, the story of civilization.
He's not a source on Indian history.
The story of our civilization, our Oriental hate. Oh, let me talk. Our Oriental heritage, page 459. Your esteemed, Will Durant, that you respect, said the Muhammadan conquest of India is probably the bloodiest story in history. Yeah, the Islamic historians and scholars have recorded with great glee and pride the slaughters of Hindus, forced conversions, abduction of Hindu women and children to slave markets, and destructions of temples carried out by warriors of Islam during 800 AD to 1700 AD. Well, I said, millions of Hindus were converted to Islam by sword during this period. So you agree Will Durant is a good guy, but you won't accept that particular...
Now can I respond?
Yeah.
You've read the quote. I gave you time to read the quote.
Page 459. So can someone
I know
Google
exactly.
It? Google it.
I know.
No,
Wait. I'm coming.
Don't worry, one more.
Will Durant was a philosopher. He has passed away. He wrote 10 volumes on the history of civilization. He is not an expert on Indian history. So let me explain something about Will Durant. Okay. So you believe Will Durant, right? Wait. You believe him?
I feel like crying, man.
Do you know what he wrote about Islamic civilization?
Wait. It's like, you know,
Raj, can we have a discussion?
There was a Santa Claus and he wasn't there.
Do you also accept what he said about Islamic civilization?
I respected you.
Raj, do you also accept what he said about Islamic civilization?
Oh my God, what do you... I've lost track of what you even talking about.
No. Do you not understand my question now? Shall I repeat it? Do you
off.
also accept what Will Durant said? He wrote a volume on Islamic civilization. Wait. No. Stand by your sources now.
Will Durant, and he said in his book in 1935, the story of our civilization, our Oriental heritage.
I know the quote.
Page 459. But you accept everything else he talks about is respectable, but he's an Islamophobe now. He's an Islamophobe.
No, I never said that. I never said that.
He must be because he wrote this.
Raj.
I didn't write it.
Raj.
You didn't write it, did you? So he's an Islamophobe.
Why are you ignoring my question?
Now you can't take Will Durant as one of your heroes.
You look very desperate.
Without one of your heroes.
Okay, when you finished.
All right, go on.
Do you accept what he said about Islamic civilization also?
Islamic civilization gave a lot, like all civilizations.
No, do you accept what Will Durant has said about Islamic civilization? Its virtues, its greatness, the tolerance and the peace and the justice
so you could take
to
that
Jews, Christians, to Hindus, all over the world. What he said about that? Do you accept that?
I'm going to say something,
Do you accept that? Do you accept that?
You know about Will Durant, Can I say something? I'm going to write a new book here, the retelling of Indian history, and I'm going to have the Muslims picking flowers and just dancing and everything in India.
He's not answering my question.
They didn't touch anyone. They were like the most, peaceful people in the world. There wasn't even one single...
You're not doing very well in recovering from the last
in the whole of India. This is the book I'm going to write.
Humiliation.
But then you're going to say I'm an Islamophobe. Even if I say, oh, maybe they might have kicked over a bin or something. I don't know.
Right.
Anything that your particular
Raj,
level.
do you accept
of-
what Will
your
Durant said
particular
about
level,
Islamic
yeah,
civilization?
I
accept it?
I accept that. There's a lot of Islamic
So
civilization.
there's
like the British
right.
Raj.
So why did you not bring that quote also so that you can
But
look
I'm talking
objective?
What do you want? I'm not here to propagate your
Right.
your.
So
kind
you
of like
accept what Will
civilization.
Durant said
I
about
know, but
Islamic
I'm not here
civilization?
to do your job.
Okay. So fine. Do you accept?
I
Can
said-
I do my job then?
You caught me off guard last week, and you tried to. Oh yeah, he doesn't know nothing.
You're
I was
still
talking-
waffling all over the place.
You know what? Yeah,
You're
I'm
still
wa-
waffling
you know
all
what's
over the place.
worse?
You came. You
I'm
thought you
actually
came
waff-
prepared.
I'm
So
actually
as soon as
waffling,
I
yeah.
walked into the park, someone came up to me. Raj came
Yeah, I
prepared.
know,
I was
I
like,
know,
okay,
I know.
Raj, let's
Do you know-
let's go and have a
do you know
talk.
what- do you know-
But Raj,
You
you're
know
not
what,
quite
yeah,
prepared.
You know what's so worse? Yeah, I'm
Let me
waffling.
burst
You
your
know, can I say
bubble.
something?
You're not quite prepared.
I'm actually not even.
I have no
Do you know what?
papers,
Listen to
no
this.
preparation.
Listen, I'm not even on 10% yet. I'm waffling and I'm still beating him.
Okay,
What a
let the
disaster.
viewers decide who's
I'm
being
not even-
beaten.
I'm not
I'm
even-
not here.
I'm
Okay,
not
I'm
e-
beaten. I'm
I'm
beaten.
not even-
I
I'm not
accept-
even
I
functioning.
surrender. I
You know,
admit.
around
I
an hour ago, I started thinking about
Raj,
something else.
I admit defeat.
Yeah,
Now
and I was
can we
having a
talk?
conversation
I
with
admit
myself in
defeat.
the head.
Raj,
Yeah, and you was talking.
do you want
so-
a trophy?
Of course, man. Yes, I've won.
Okay.
You concede.
Now,
He gave me the trophy.
I concede.
So that
I
is a winning
concede
trophy.
defeat. I concede defeat
Yeah.
because Raj is here for a duel.
I'm an
He is here.
Islamophobe.
He's not.
This
Okay.
is how he shut
Now,
down debate.
now it's clear that Raj has clearly selectively chosen quotes from
my
sources
God.
he has no knowledge of. He hasn't read them. He hasn't studied them.
I am trying
If
to
he had
prove-
read Will Durant, Raj would
on,
never quote
can I
him
say something? I am
because Will
trying to-
Durant, the same
Hold it.
man, paid a very lavish
Can I-
tribute to Islamic
I-
civilization.
can I rebut
He praised
Raj
the
had
Muslim
no
achievement.
problem with
They
that.
don't like it. They don't like it. When
Can
I start
can
talking
can I
about
rebut
good
that?
things, they don't like
Can
it.
you guys listen to
Okay,
this? yeah?
okay,
Can I talk for
okay.
1 second?
Can you turn to this white supremacist as well?
Let's have a
This
monologue.
racist,
Let's
this
have a
racist,
monologue.
say racist white
This is
what
what
supremacist.
they do.
He's a
They call
racist
you a white supremacist
Yes.
if
Can I
you
say
disagree
something?
with them.
My
They
job-
call you a hate
my job
preacher
here is
if you
not to
disagree with
praise
them.
Okay.
Islamic
And this is why
conquest.
he's
Okay.
Yeah, it's to show
very
the brutality
pathetic.
of it.
Okay.
Why would I bring quotes about Muslims
He defends
picking
Tommy
up
Robinson,
flowers
so he's
and
nothing
running
but
around in
a white
fields?
supremacist.
Why would I pick up
And he
quotes
thinks
about the
that's- and he
beautiful
thinks
nature of the
that's
Muslims?
sufficient
Okay.
The Muslims. I'm
He
trying to
thinks
show the
that
brutality.
statement
Why
was
would I use
sufficient
those
evidence.
quotes?
Okay, now let's
To
talk
call
about the
someone a
brutality.
white
that-
supremacist.
I know, but you're
Right.
telling me to do
Only
your job.
Islam does this.
Okay.
Only
Now-
Islam
now,
does this.
Will
Calls you a
Durant-
white
though?
supremacist,
Let's see if they
calls
put it
you a
up.
racist
Is this
if you
gonna go
speak
up?
out against them.
Is this
Yes,
gonna go up?
Only
of course.
Let's see if the
Islam.
Muslim
Every
brothers-
Christianity
Or- or
doesn't
every
do it.
single one of these,
Judaism doesn't
these
do it.
discourses
Hinduism
Can we
Hinduism
continue?
doesn't do it.
Version as well.
Sikhism doesn't do it. Scientology doesn't do it. The only
Hey,
religion
preacher.
that does it
Hey,
is
preacher.
Islam. You must not challenge
what
it
does it do?
because you're a
What does it
hate.
do? What does it
Calls
do?
you a hate preacher.
Right.
Calls you a white supremacist if you dare challenge any
then
aspect
you don't know
of it.
anything about
you just
Hindus,
saw
Christians,
it
Sikhs,
here.
and others. You don't know
You
anything
just
about
saw
them.
it from this
You're just
Muslim's
ignorant.
mouth.
You're just an
He's
ignorant
just called me a
racist
white
man.
supremacist.
You're just an ignorant
I'm an
racist
ignorant
man.
racist man because I dare to challenge Islam.
No.
That
Because
makes
you
me a
challenge-
racist.
you
That
challenge-
makes me an
He's a
Islamophobe.
racist.
You see,
That makes me a
Islamophobia
white
has-
supremacist. You heard it here.
Islamophobia
I don't have to tell
has
you.
become
You heard the
a new
evidence here.
tactic for
the
the
videos will
for
be
the
edited,
racist
but those people
xenophobes
here
in this country.
heard it.
Those who are
precisely.
You
racist-
hate me because I'm brown, don't you?
Yeah, I really hate
hate
Raj.
me.
He's a
It
real
is all
Only
your fault.
Islam
I
is
know, I
so
don't mind,
thin-skinned it calls
doesn't
you a
mind.
racist if you challenge
Okay,
it.
when they stop-
Only Islam. Sikhism doesn't do it.
Are we on?
Only Islam. Why is that?
Okay,
Why
going
are
back
they,
to
what
Will
is the
Durant.
insecurity that's so
Why are you so
inherent
angry?
in Islam?
Why are you so red?
What is the
Look at
This
me.
is
why
why
is,
I see- this is
why
why
is
you're getting red.
Islam
This is what we see.
inherently
Why are you getting so
insecure?
angry,
This is what we
man?
see.
Why is
Muslims.
Islam so
Calm down.
very inherently
This is what they were like last
insecure
week. Their faces were
that it
like
has
that.
to
He's
call-
sweating.
It's
He's sweating
I'm
as
as
well.
dry
He's
as a
wet.
bit of paper.
I just
Why
Alright,
is
so
Islam
we've
so
established that you
insecure?
like
Why are you so
Why?
insecure?
Hold on now.
Why are you so insecure?
Steve,
I wonder why he throws the same question.
Steve, can we go
back.
to the next stage? Yeah, you
Okay,
established that
coming
Will
back to Will
Durant.
Durant.
Can we go to Francis
No,
Gautier?
no, no. I haven't even talked about Will Durant yet.
You
So
said
about
that-
this quote
Oh
now,
my
Will Durant
God.
said that it was one of the bloodiest episodes in the history of humanity.
He's an
There
Islamophobe.
there were millions of
But you
people
love him though before,
forcefully
until you read
converted
that.
to Islam. Now, when you read a book specifically written on conversion in Islam or on conversion in India of people to Islam.
But that was the topic of the day.
Okay.
Why Why would I pick out? Why would I pick out a quote
can I
about
show you?
Muslims picking up flowers?
Okay, wait.
Yeah. Why would I do that? You said to me that they
Raj,
did not commit any
I'm
atrocities.
sure-
I've given you from one of your respected
Raj,
sources an exact
my
quote,
sources.
yeah? You said you
You pulled
respected
it out.
You said you
Selectively.
respected
The kid got
him.
the
He actually said before he respected him.
He
yeah?
came to give
Yeah.
Raj a trophy.
Now, can you-
Raj,
Oh.
Raj, can you take the trophy? You
I
win.
won today,
You
man.
win. You win.
I want the Punjabi
Good
shared
boy.
one.
What a good boy.
Okay, so Will Durant, in this quote, is claiming
Thank
things
you.
that are
You're very
absolutely
kind.
false. For example,
Oh,
okay, let me finish, Raj. Let me
Oh,
finish.
yeah, no.
You can laugh at me as long as you
I'm
can
sorry,
laugh
I'm
at me at
sorry.
home.
I'm actually going to
You
feel
know,
guilty about this.
When you watch the video, laugh,
It's
laugh,
like kicking a
laugh.
puppy.
Is that the edited video or the
It's
straight
like kicking a
video?
puppy.
Okay, so Will Durant doesn't know in this case what he's talking about. Let me explain why. There are people, academics, historians who specialize
You're
in the
historians
area.
that you
Okay,
accept.
wait, I'm gonna give names. I'm gonna give names.
Until you found out he wrote this, you loved him.
Now he doesn't want me to talk.
So
right?
we've got it on here. Before
Okay.
he
Raj, why are
he
you
said
so-
he was easily
why are you
respected,
so
he loved
agitated?
him because you are the
Let me
worst
fin-
debater
let me
known to
finish.
mankind.
Okay.
And
So
you've
why would you debate him,
disappointed.
Raj?
Yeah, why
Because
you
I'm
why you
just-
still killing
the
your
re-
time?
The reason why, because last
I'm the
week,
worst debater in the world, and Raj has killed 2 hours of his time with this idiot.
Last
It's a
week,
day off,
last week
isn't it?
I
What
got
else is there to
ambushed.
do?
Yes, trying to protect the Christian guys, and he
So
said
he has come to pay back for the ambush.
He said,
And he's
yeah,
getting
by
ambushed
ambushing
again and
you.
again.
you know what
By
it is, yeah?
ambushing you.
You know what it is? I'm not like the Christians, man. You know, we're a bit more like you.
It's
We-
insulting you now.
statement.
He's
No,
insulting
no,
you
the
now.
Christians turned
Look
over
at him.
cheeks.
Look at him laughing.
I'm not like that. I'm not
What
like
was
that.
that
You
word?
slapped me, I slapped you back a
Religionist.
million times, yeah?
Religionist.
Yeah. So
I've
what
heard
you
that
said
one
last week,
before.
That's
what
a
you
new
said,
one.
You just made that one up.
what he said last week, that there was not even 100,000 Hindus massacred over 400 period. I established in one day that happened. So I've broken his argument, and so that's 100,000
You haven't,
Hindus.
you
He
haven't.
said that
You haven't even let me
400 years.
talk.
I've got his sources that show that in one day 100,000 people were slaughtered. So he lost in the beginning. And that's why you walked away from over there and wanted to talk
I'll
here.
give you a better
You thought
example.
we'd go easier
I'll
on
give
the
you a
deck
better
chair,
example.
But you have to understand, look how I'm sitting.
In the battle, I'm gonna help
Look how
him
I'm
now.
sitting.
I'm gonna help him now. I'm gonna help him.
I know,
In
I
the
know,
battle
I know.
of Panipat in 1761, when the Afghan invader called Ahmad Shah invaded to deal with the Maratha threat. Marathas were a group who came mainly from southern India or southwest India, mainly from Maharashtra region. They came and they decimated a lot of villages. They were destroying the
Temples.
infrastructure. They were destroying temples of other Hindu cults as well. Hindu kings were destroying the temples of other Hindu kings, right? Hindus were not homogeneous. They're still not homogeneous to this day. There were Rajputs, there were Marathas, and there were Jats. There were different groups of Hindus allying with different people for different reasons at different times. So there were Rajput Hindus who were working for the Mughals. One of the biggest generals, Aurangzeb Alamgir, the man he
Oh, I
hates
hate
with a
him.
passion,
I can't even say
was
his
a
name.
Hindu.
Every time
was
I
a
say
Hindu.
his name, I get like
Okay.
a little.
So let me finish, Raj. Let me finish, Raj. Don't do
hate
what
that.
Gary was doing
Let's
earlier.
get it on
Let
there.
me finish, Raj.
He's worse than Hitler, yeah?
Okay.
The worst maniac
fine.
in history, yeah?
Okay, fine,
One of the most
Raj, fine.
evilest men ever to walk this earth.
So
and I will
now,
prove it in the future.
in the Battle of
in the future
Panipat
I'll prove it,
alone,
not today.
in the the third Battle of Panipat, okay, Ahmad Shah, when he fought the Marathas, and it was an alliance of Muslim states fighting the Marathas, 100,000 Hindu soldiers, Marathas were killed. 100,000.
Because they
okay.
couldn't take
Now,
them
is
as
that a
prisoners of war.
genocide or is that a war? That was a war. Okay, genocide is, I'll tell you what genocide is. When
prisoners of
I'll
war.
tell you what genocide is. When Sikh
Ah,
killers.
We are talking about.
I'm
from the
talking
10th
about Sikh
to the 15th
extremists.
century,
I'm not talking about Raj
10th to the 15th
and-
century,
and other-
and there was no Sikhs then. What a straw manning
see,
ass.
why-
Red
why
herrings
wouldn't-
everywhere,
why
man.
wouldn't this
Where are the
this
red
guy let
herrings
me
on
talk?
the floor? Let's get a fishing hook.
Okay,
Let's get them all out,
when
yeah?
you finish with your
You
rant.
are the worst because you know what?
Okay, when you finish,
One,
I'm going to
one, you're
continue.
a Holocaust
I'm not going to let
denier,
you have
yeah?
this.
Secondly, you are just chucking red herrings everywhere.
Right.
Every time I am showing you
Right.
up, you start bringing
Right.
in Sikhs.
Okay.
We had a clear remit that it was between the 10th to the 15th
He doesn't want to talk about
There
Sikhs.
was no Sikhs then.
I'll tell you when there were Sikhs.
It was, no, but you,
I'll tell you when the Sikhs did exist.
We established,
Okay.
yeah, did we not?
1947,
Oh, yes.
the
Oh,
Punjab,
yes, look at this.
there were Sikh
No Sikhs
militias,
before 1940.
Sikh
serious,
militias
Adnan?
going into Muslim villages,
Oh my God, the same-
raping,
the same way round.
killing Muslim
My granny
women and
told me
children.
that. I don't
think
This
many
is
people are gonna
watch this
documented.
video.
My granny
This
told
is
me there was dead
documented
bodies
in a
of
book
Sikhs.
published by Oxford
your
University called The Bloody Punjab. Go and read this book,
And do you know
The
the
Bloody Punjab,
I'm getting excited now.
published
the
by
piece on-
Oxford
and the
University,
piece on
and
Muslims
you will see
was
what
just
I'm talking
drinking tea.
about. Okay,
They were
now
like sitting
that's
there
what
like
you call a
little pussycats.
genocide. That's what you call a genocide.
So,
Okay.
so the million
Okay.
people that died
So-
in that time were
so-
all Muslims.
so hundreds of
The
thousands of
million
people.
that died, was it all?
Raj, did it
Why are we-
happen?
No, 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 no.
Did it happen,
I'm not,
Raj?
I'm not
Can
playing
you
this
subject?
game. I'm
Okay,
not playing
Raj,
this game.
did it happen?
I'm not playing your
Did it
game.
happen?
I'm not playing your game, man. No. I'm not like the rest of the guys. I don't play your game. Yeah, I play my own game.
Raj, did it
You are
happen?
trying to distract.
Raj,
I came
did it
here.
happen?
I'm not going to even
Raj,
answer it.
did it happen?
I'm not going to even answer it.
Raj,
I'm not even
did
answering
that
it.
genocide happen?
There was 1 million killed. How many Muslims and Sikhs were killed? What's the ratio?
How?
Well, don't do. There's 1 million. Were they all
Go and
Muslims?
read the book Bloody
1
Punjab.
million. Was it all
There's a
Muslims?
book published
was
by.
it 1 million
Why?
Muslims?
Why?
Was it 1
Can
million?
I
Muslims?
answer?
You
Can
are
I
the-
answer?
You, do you know what, Adnan?
Anyone who wants to
Adnan.
answer, please read this book. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to him. Read the book, The Bloody Punjab. The
Look at the
Bloody Punjab,
hypocrisy.
Oxford
Look at the
University
hypocrisy.
Press, and the
Oh my
answer is
God,
there.
man. Oh my God.
So
The
I will now go
hypocrisy.
back.
Look,
So-
he lost. Oh my
Okay.
God.
So now, ladies and
Now you're
gentlemen,
spewing hate against Sikhs. Oh, look.
thank you.
They just call you a hate.
Brilliant, brilliant.
And
Hey,
anyone commenting out there, please do not insult
Is
Raj.
this a performance?
He has the
They
right.
called
He
me
has the right.
raghead. They said that I drink cow piss.
Raj, every time I
That,
talk,
I know,
Raj,
but your
every
Muslim
time I
brothers
talk,
on the-
you
on
cut
the-
me,
on
and
the
I'm trying to
comments-
make your point for you.
I know, but I want to say to them myself, yeah, you troll me, I'll troll you 1,000,000 times harder. I have got
So
I've got-
all the trolls
I've got
out
all
there
day to troll.
know that Raj
Every
is a bigger
comment-
troll than you
every
are.
comment I've answered.
Okay.
Do you know how many comments there was? 700. Wow. I've answered every single one. And do you know what I say?
Including
Do you know what I say? I love Muslims.
So Raj
They're
has
so angry.
Raj, start a channel, man. 700
He obviously hasn't got a job.
Yeah.
Raj
No. I answer over 4
Raj
different,
has become a bigger troll than all the trolls
I
put
love
together.
trolling, man.
Okay, so
You're the
all
best
of
to troll them Muslims.
all the brothers
You're
and
so
sisters,
easy to troll. You got no sense
all
of
the
humor.
brothers and sisters.
It's like
Raj,
you
can
know,
I
it's
can
like-
I finish
know,
on a?
but-
I know you don't like positive things, but can I finish on a positive note? Now, this discussion between myself and Raj,
He said no.
ladies and
I said,
gentlemen,
not no.
ladies and gentlemen,
Boys and girls.
Muslims and Sikhs should coexist. They should love each other as brothers and sisters in humanity. What Raj said or what I said cannot be taken in the wrong way, because this is
It's banter.
no, it's not banter. What I was saying was not banter. I'm sure.
What was it?
I was trying to give as many facts as possible. Let the viewers decide. So, brothers and sisters out there, whether you are Sikhs or Muslims or Christians, whoever you are, please, when you leave comments, leave decent comments. Ask academic questions, serious questions. We will answer them. Okay. As for research, it's a very good area. It's a very exhaustive area. You can go and start digging books, but when you do read, brothers and sisters out there, read from academic sources. Don't go on Islamophobic or anti-Sikh
We're gonna have some
websites
music at the
where
end.
you will only find
And the
hate
credits
and
will go.
destruction. So I want you to go to academic sources, historical sources, recent historians who have been published by Oxford, Cambridge, Aligarh, Karachi, Toronto, Columbia
Wolverhampton.
University, or even Sydney University. Wherever these academics are working in these universities, they deserve a respect.
University of East London?
Okay, for their research. Yeah, of course, all
Can
these
I give an
universities.
ending as on a
yeah,
positive
yeah,
note?
you can, of course. So all the Sikh brothers and sisters out there, this wasn't meant to insult you or to degrade your religion, to put you down. Rather,
And wave at the
my
camera.
purpose was simply
Wave at the
responding
camera.
to some of the points Raj is making, okay, and showing him the other side of the coin. That was my purpose. I don't believe Sikhs are terrorists. I don't believe they're extremists, they are killers, they're murderers. I don't believe that. I believe Sikhs are very good people.
thanks.
They are some of the most hard-working people in this country and in the West. Generally speaking, they are business people, they are a business community, they have contributed positively to our society, and I leave it at that. Thank you so much for listening.
Can I
And
say,
Raj
so
can
from-
summarize.
I'm happy with Adnan's seal of approval of the Sikh community after bashing us and calling us terrorists. Great, that's beautiful. I love that. I'm not going to say nothing negative. All I'm going to say to my Muslim brothers, you may see videos, I may say things, I may disagree with you, but I don't dislike you. Yeah, I dislike the Islamic ideology. Doesn't mean I dislike Muslims.
You cannot
Hold
hate the
on,
root.
hold on.
You
Let me
cannot hate the
talk.
root and not hate the tree.
Talk. But can I just say something?
You cannot hate the root and not hate the tree.
Can I just say something? Yeah, one of the most.
How can you,
Hold
Raj,
on.
I'm sorry.
Silence in court.
How can you hate Islam and love Muslims?
Oh my
How does that
God.
work?
Very
How
easily.
can you hate Islam and love Muslims?
You know what? My brain is very.
It's like me
my
saying,
brain
I
functions
hate
like that.
Sikhism,
He could be
but I love the
quiet when
Sikhs.
you spoke.
You know what? Let me give you an example. Yeah, I used to be. Let me give you an example. Yeah, I used to be a vegan and I hated everyone that ate meat.
It's getting better.
Yes. Yeah.
But then you're a hater.
I used to hate everyone that ate
You're
meat.
just a
but
plain
I could still
hater.
talk to people and like them as an individual. But I hate
Raj,
the fact
I
that
don't
they
think
ate
you
meat.
represent the Sikhs out there.
Hold on, I don't. I'm not a monolith. I don't even represent anyone. I didn't even wear my turban today because I was called a raghead on thingy, yeah.
They're wrong.
And they said I'm a fake Sikh
They're wrong.
in brackets on the titles on your Dawa
And did you
channels.
read those Sikh comments? Did you read those
yeah,
comments?
yeah,
The Sikhs saying the same things?
They're like ISIS themselves.
So that's
yeah,
why
they're the worst.
that's why I'm
They
saying all the
apostolize
Sikh
everyone
brothers
that
and
are not
sisters
like
out
them.
there, all the Muslim
Yeah.
brothers and sisters out
And so
there,
could-
stop commenting ugly things, please.
But 99% are Muslims, so let's just clarify that. Yeah. So another thing is, yeah, that I just want to say to the Muslim community, please chill, man. You know, let's have a bit of a sense of humour. You're all so angry every time I look into the crowd.
You look like
it
a hater
looks,
again
It looks
now.
like you want to kill everyone. Not
You
kill,
look like a
no, one
hater
second.
again.
It looks like you really.
They don't see any good in Muslims.
let's just-
Do you
I'm
see any
telling
good?
you,
Any good? Is there anything good?
You are an amazing person. Yeah?
So,
Your son,
am I the
yeah,
only good thing
your
about
son,
Muslims?
No, your son, yeah, it testifies to you.
Yeah.
Because I think your son, yeah, when I see his videos, I think if all Muslims are like
Is that
him,
the only good thing about
no,
Muslims?
no.
What else? I said a lot of good things about Sikhs. Can you say some good things about
I said,
Muslims?
yeah, that I agree with 70% of Islam.
Okay, fine.
Even
But
the Islamic
is
ideology.
there anything good about Muslims?
Of course, Muslims are
Like,
hard people.
such as.
Some of my
Maybe the
best friends were
30%. He
Muslims.
was
Yeah.
in the Muslim
When they see this
stadium.
video, they're going to be shocked. You know why?
No, that argument I don't like. I'm not racist. My wife is.
I live in an
my
area.
right.
When they
Anything
see-
good in Muslims?
When they see this video, do you know what they're going to say? I cannot believe Raj has
not
these views. Do you know
sexist,
why?
my wife is
I've
a
never
woman.
mistreated them.
Raj, do
So
you see anything good in Muslims?
Of course, Muslims are
Like,
great people.
such as.
They're very hard-working, honest. They give to charity.
Right.
You know, the religion.
Is that because of Islam?
Yeah, because of 5 pillars.
Okay.
And I agree. I've
So
told
there are
you.
parts of Islam you like.
I've said a million times, 70%.
Right.
I believe in a lot of it that you should mention.
So-
We should defend ourselves. That the fact that
No,
it's men and
70%
women
is a lot. Is
It
a lot.
is a lot.
Which
It is a lot. I can't go. It's
30%
too.
quite a
It's
lot
too
as
complicated.
well.
I'll go through it next time.
70% is
But
quite
yeah,
a lot.
It's a lot. But the 30% I dislike, I hate so much. I'm willing to die for it.
Thinking about it.
Yeah, that's how much I hate the 30%. So it's like, you know, oh, it's just too.
We had a discussion last week. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He has the right to like or dislike what he
I would
likes.
never,
No problem.
let me just say one thing. I would
has
never
the
live
right
under
to.
Sharia. I would rather die for my rights.
You'd be allowed to
Yeah,
leave anyway.
yeah, no, it doesn't matter. I would stay and die just to
We'll be
prove a
allowed
point.
to leave England
I will
when
be the first
Sharia is
martyr of the Sharia
about
of the
England.
Sharia
Well, that's
Islamic
where we
State.
all are.
Yeah, I will not
we all
accept
are,
being
but
a
that's not what we're
dhimmi
talking about.
or second-class citizen from
Okay.
anybody.
Okay. You see, now Raj sounds like that Canadian woman
Oh.
who stood up in front of a Sikh gentleman
He's got
and
this
she
all
was
wrong.
screaming, no Sharia, no
No,
Sharia,
no,
no Sharia.
no.
Because she had no idea that that Sikh gentleman is not even a Muslim. He doesn't believe in Sharia. But he was so dignified. He was so
Everyone
dignified.
watch this
And I
afterwards.
love him for that.
Everyone
That
watch
Sikh
this
gentleman
afterwards.
from Canada,
Steve, watch
I
this,
love him for
watch
that.
this,
Because
watch
his
this.
response was so
He's used the
dignified.
wrong- he's
He
used
didn't
the wrong
he didn't he
example.
didn't bash the Muslims.
Come
He didn't
in,
say,
turn
I
it-
don't believe in
turn it onto
Sharia.
me.
I'm not a
Turn
Muslim.
it onto me.
He was
I
dignified.
know Jagmeet Singh.
He was
yeah?
dignified.
You have to understand you chose
But
a
now
completely wrong
Raj,
one. Hold on.
Raj,
Do you know
Raj.
what?
Listen,
Do you know the lady? Yeah, everyone wants this. The lady that went up to New Sikh. There's a
holding
law
it.
in Canada
I'm holding
called
it for you.
M103. Yeah, where they're trying to
holding
have
it for you, man.
They're trying to have a pseudo blasphemy law. Yeah, against all religions. Jagmeet Singh here is on the far left, so supports this particular bill for free speech
So he's a
being
good man.
infringed. Yeah. So this woman went to him and was berating him, not because he was Sikh. She knew he was Sikh. Yeah. But because
How
she
do you
did-
know that?
I know, yeah, I know.
How do you know
Oh
that?
my God, it's come from the
Let him
sources.
finish.
What sources? No one
listen
knew
to what
her.
She said.
They
She
hardly
was-
found her picture. They
Jagmeet
found her
Singh-
picture with so
Singh-
much
Jagmeet
difficulty.
Singh, yeah, oh my God.
Well,
Jagmeet-
Raj, it's not going to end. Thank you so
Let me
much
just
for
say, no,
talking.
I'm not letting you hang on that. Jagmeet Singh is
Yeah,
in
you
favour.
can talk to that camera because
Is in
that's some
favour of a
different.
law called M103.
Okay, ladies and
Yeah?
gentlemen,
That law is
thank
an
you so much
anti-blasphemy law.
for listening.
She was
and
she
I
was
hope
contesting
you would have
the
enjoyed this
fact-
discussion.
And even though he's Sikh, I don't agree with him putting that law through. So Jagmeet Singh, please change it. Don't go for the M103. It's a blasphemy
Well,
law,
that'll be
and you
edited
can't be
out.
having that.
If there are any questions, you're more than welcome.
He
to
chose
ask.
the wrong one,
Getting
so
on the internet.
Any
You need to-
serious
you need to
questions?
research
Not.
on that.
I have nothing against Raj as a person, as a Sikh. I have nothing against Sikh people. I loved this discussion, although it was a bit hostile at times.
we hated
But
each other.
that's the nature of Speaker's Corner. So
Cut.
the beautiful thing is that when we depart, we can hug each other and appreciate each other. And can I
And-
give
and-
a kiss to this baby?
And the thing is, yeah, I just want to say something to the camera, yeah. Musa Adnan is a great guy. Whatever I berated him, when you watch the video, you're going to think I hated the guy because I was laying into him, and I did beat you, yeah. The thing is,
I
yeah,
concede defeat.
I love this guy. I think he's an amazing debater, extremely intelligent, yeah. And if most Muslims, yeah, because I judge by the
That's another
hold on.
misrepresentation of facts.
I judge by the offspring. Yeah. When I see children, I see what the parents are like. and his son is a very good guy. I watch a lot of his videos. Yeah, so I know he must be a good guy if his children turn out like that. Yeah, I don't describe. I only to the hate channels like the Islamophobia. Rebel media.
But again,
Rebel
again,
media.
So
again, all those individuals.
As Punjabis and Mulsa, yeah, you hate the Punjabis, yeah.
All those
But we're
individuals,
Punjabis.
all those individuals posting hate against Raj
Yeah, I'm
or
not
myself
ragged.
or anyone else, please get alive.
Remember the
Or
Prophet Muhammad wore a
please,
turban.
please demonstrate better manners, because that's
And for-
there is too much hate in this world. We need to love.
And one
we
last
need
thing,
to come close to each
a
other.
message to Pathway to Misery, yeah? Pathway to Misery.
We need to
Not
love.
mercy.
We need to start loving.
Fake
We need to
Sikhs.
start
This is
loving.
Pathway to
You need
Misery.
to you need to attend some love
Where are they?
sessions.
Pathway to
Seriously.
Misery.
You need
Calling
to-
me a
you
fake
need
Sikh. Is that your channel? Ah, you're the You're the worst, man.
Hang on.
You're the worst.
Front of
Pathway to
everyone.
misery.
Front of
Pathway to
everyone.
misery.
I had a request
You
from
know who this
somebody.
is?
I know. Carly's
listen.
trying to underwire. He's
Local
an idiot.
films.
Guys,
Local
please listen up. I had a request from my viewers, and they were a bit touched
guy.
by it, and
One guy.
they said his name.
Carly
This guy
studied
is not a
underwear.
real Sikh,
Oh, Carly studied
so you
under-
should call him fake Sikh. But I promise you, in front of everyone, I will change that name.
Yeah, please do that. Please. That's
See,
Okay.
we can disagree and be good guys, man.
Yeah.
I've been looking for everyone would say, "Where's Pathway to Misery? Where's Pathway to
But
Misery?"
I invite Raj to my house,
Yeah.
where I have library. Okay, when Raj has questions on Indian history and all those so-called genocides and killings and
you accept my
conquests.
books then?
Did you tell
No,
him
bring
about-
your books.
Oh,
Bring
but
the
you
books.
won't accept my books.
You know when? Sorry, I will show. I'll put everything in front of him, and Sikhs, non-Sikhs, all the historians I have in my.
Can I
all
say
the-
something?
Yeah.
Raj,
So he can then decide himself
Buy the
whether
book
what I'm telling him
by
is true or not.
Audrey Trushka. Hey, Raj.
Audrey Trush.
Audrey Trush wrote a book by Aurangzeb. Yeah.
I told him about
She's
this.
not Muslim.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
Are you
a
doing
historian.
that?
Very good.
I don't want him.
Look
I
at
don't want to
that.
embarrass Adnan anymore, yeah, because I've rated him so much. He doesn't accept any of my sources, so I can't accept his.
No, it's not our source.
I don't know, but
She's
what I'm
not
saying,
Muslim.
whenever I show him a context of a source from your own sources, I can't rely on that. I wasn't
no,
there.
Raj.
When
the
he
problem with-
shows his
the problem
sources,
with your
they're-
quotes is these are
Because they're not
quotes.
from you.
So no, Raj.
can I look at it?
They are selectively
No.
chosen. They are
Are you
selectively
kidding me?
chosen.
Anyway,
This is
man.
like secret
Okay,
documents, man.
Ra-
A-bombs, A-bombs.
This is an academic point. I
bombs,
want to make very quickly. In the 19th century, when the British came to power in India, okay, they were colonial administrators who ordered some people to write the history of the Muslim period and make it look as bad as possible, so that the
I knew it'd be my
so that
fault.
so that
I knew it
so
would be
that
my
no,
fault.
this is a very important educational point.
Should shit with yourself.
Okay, wait.
Shall I leave
Look,
now?
please. This collection was made by two scholars called Eliot and Dowson, okay? And they published their works in 8 volumes. What they did was they picked up Muslim chronicles dating back to the time of Mahmud Ghaznavi from the 11th century, coming down to the Mughal period for about 7-8 centuries, and they handpicked the most barbaric passages put down by chroniclers, Muslim to non-Muslims, and they made the Muslim history look so bad. Why? In order to make themselves look good. That British Raj, the British imperialism, colonialism is a great thing. So don't belittle it. Don't fight against the colonialism, because look at the Muslims, what they did in the past. So what happened in the 20th century? A lot of the scholars, Indian scholars, Hindus and Muslims, they rewrote the history. They had to completely disown the British version of history. What they call is they call it the colonial treatment of history. So they got rid of it. For example, the history
We have
of,
now movies, Victorian Abdul, in
Yeah.
the cinema.
This is something new.
What do you have to say about
There
that?
is no. Wait. Let me give you a few specific examples. Tipu Sultan was an Indian Muslim king who was tarnished by the British excessively. What happened? Kate Brittleband from Australia. She's an Australian scholar. She has written on Tipu Sultan a book, a biography of
can
Tipu
women be
Sultan.
scholars?
Very good question. Very good question. So she wrote a book on Tipu Sultan, and she completely disowned the colonial version of history. She said the British deliberately lied on him to make him look bad and make themselves look good. Okay. Likewise, Aurangzeb Alamgir, another Mughal emperor, highly tarnished by the British historians. Audrey Trush, also a European historian, She's in America. She's teaching history in one of the American universities. She has written this recent book on Aurangzeb, completely disowning the colonial historical narrative and basically clarifying as to why Aurangzeb was tarnished by the British colonial historians. So these quotes taken from these colonial historians are completely bogus. Modern historians do not accept them anymore. They put them in the drain and they have to rewrite the history now. That's why a lot of the new historians are completely rewriting the history of India again. And these claims about temple desecrations, mass murders, mass conversions, all of these claims have been thoroughly challenged by recent historians.
16 pages. It was actually nearly up to
I'm
20.
telling you about 500 pages. Go and read books written by scholars on these topics.
That you accept.
500 pages.
That you accept.
No,
You
I don't
only-
accept. It's not because I told them to go and write the
Anytime-
books.
so
They wrote them because they wanted to
One
write
of your
them.
favourite authors that I mentioned, Durant, whatever his name was, you said he was an amazing author. Once you found out he wrote something bad about Muslims, you went mad and said he's not a good author anymore.
I didn't go mad. I actually
Whoa.
appreciated what he has said about the Islamic civilization. You selectively quoted him, not knowing about what he said. Not what he said about Islamic civilization. He praised the Islamic
Do you want to
civilization,
read it again?
Muslim justice and tolerance.
Shall I read it again for the guys?
We know what you read.
I know, but can I read it again? Because you seem to be preoccupied about the good stuff.
Okay.
Let's put some of the little,
Okay, then I'm
going
going to ask you to read a quote.
Let's put a little bit of salt on there,
Okay,
because I don't want all the good
no,
stuff.
Raj,
But I've got
why
sources
ignoring
as
me?
well.
Ignoring me again.
Adnan, I've got sources as well.
Okay.
Look what your Durant said.
Okay. Will you write another
don't
He
run
one?
away,
said the
don't run away.
Mohammedan conquest of
Don't run
India
away.
is probably
Come
the
here,
most
answer what you
bloodiest
did to us. Come
story
here.
in history.
Come and praise
The
Don't
Islamic
whitewash
historians
history.
and scholars
Come
have
here.
recorded with great glee and pride the slaughter of Hindus,
have a lot of
forced
things to
conversions,
argue with.
abduction of Hindu women and children to slave markets, and the destruction of temples carried out by the warriors of Islam during 800 to AD to 1700 AD. Millions of Hindus were converted to Islam by sword during this period. That is one of your favorite authors.
And what if he said in the next paragraph that this narrative has been challenged by recent historians? What if he said that? I'm going to go and check that very quote.
Oh, so you
I'm
don't
gonna-
even know?
No, I know.
Oh, so you're just putting doubt into the reader's mind.
Wait.
Viewer's mind,
Wait,
just so that they won't check.
Raj.
Well, how can you even say that?
Can we have a discussion?
But why would you even say that?
Can I say?
You can say it, but don't listen to him.
Will Durant, when you read him, holistically, when you read his text as a uniform text from page 1 to the page last, when you see his treatment of the Islamic civilization, he praised it. He praised it excessively. He praised Muslim tolerance, Muslim
so he's even more
achievement.
impartial
Look,
then.
Raj, again,
More
when I'm making a
impartial.
point, Raj
Because he
doesn't want
loves
me to
you
finish
guys.
my point.
But he's impartial then, isn't he?
Raj, I know you don't like it. I know you don't like it. But control yourself. Hold on.
I know,
Control
it's all
yourself.
cherry-picked, the whole
Control
thing.
yourself.
Is that-
Okay.
is that 60
Now, with
pages of
regards
paper?
to this quote, I'm going to give you some names now. Go and study them and see whether this quote can be qualified historically. Number one, mass murder committed by Muslim invasions of India. All of this notion has been challenged by all, I'm saying all, modern historians.
Can you clarify
Okay,
that?
Yeah,
Would you better back that up?
Yeah.
So if I bring someone who's a modern historian
Yeah.
that disproves that, your whole argument is gone.
Yeah.
All right, so
someone
next
published,
week, let's go
someone
back.
published by
I will build,
someone,
so what's
someone
the time
published by
frame?
university.
What time frame?
Someone published
What
by
time
university.
frame? What time frame?
What?
When,
What do you mean?
when does a book have to be published?
What do
The
you mean?
book, for it to be valid, when does that have to be published? From 1990 to 2017?
In the 20th century.
All right, so let's do it. You heard it? I'm going to search the whole internet. I've got no life, so all I do is just troll.
Okay, let's
annoy people.
You realise that.
Can I finish my point now? Yeah. So with regards to this quote, mass murder of Hindus, because what historians have pointed out, is the fact that Hindus, Muslims, Jats, Marathas, every single one of them, when they were fighting wars, they were killing each other. Okay? In the process of these wars, they killed innocent people as well.
Oh, so we've got there then.
And
Oh,
Sikhs,
good.
and Sikhs,
Good.
and
Oh,
Sikhs.
4
Wait,
hours.
calm down,
All right, he's
calm
amazing
down.
now. Innocent people.
And the Sikh gurus.
All right, so you
and the
accept-
Sikh
you
gurus.
accept that?
Wait, and the Sikh
Except
gurus.
you just said it.
Raj,
Innocent-
no,
no, it's very
calm
important.
down.
You don't-
Raj, let me finish.
Calm
Let me
down.
finish. Calm down.
You don't understand.
Guru,
how important that
Guru.
is. You don't understand.
Calm down.
I know,
Calm
you don't
down.
understand.
Calm down. Guru Tegh Bahadur.
You got it.
Guru Tegh Bahadur,
Got
the
it.
9th Guru of the Sikhs, the
Yes,
ninth Guru of the Sikhs,
yes.
he fought the Mughals and he killed people, right? Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th Guru of the Sikhs, fought the Mughals at times and allied with the Mughals at other times, okay? Also killed people. Banda Singh Bahadur, another Sikh warrior in the 18th century, committed mass atrocities against the Muslim population of the Punjab, okay? This was happening in wars, okay? So no one is immune
All right,
from killing people in wars. Now, let me finish my point. I'm finishing right now. So when you come here and say Muslim killers, Muslim murderers, okay? Be prepared to stand by your own history as well. Okay, wait. Now, having said that, the issue of mass conversion, that notion has been challenged by modern historians. In fact, the majority of
Raj.
Listen to this, Raj. This is for you.
I want to hear what you said.
Modern historians are of the view the majority of the conversions to Islam that took place in India were due to the Sufi preaching of Sufi preachers going around. For example, where did the mass conversion happen? In Bengal and in the Punjab. Okay, there was no other mass conversion in India during the Middle Ages. Okay, let me explain again. The Bengal region and the Punjab region. In the Bengal region, it was the Sufi preaching. Okay, Shah Jalal, people like Shah Jalal. In the Punjab, there were Chishti preachers, for example, people like Fariduddin Kanchakkar and others. They preached to people. So Sikh religion itself is actually an outcome of Sufi adventurous, how can I put it?
Can you say that again?
Sikh religion is an outcome of Sufi thinking. Okay, Guru Nanak Ji was Sufi / revolutionary / social activist.
He didn't like organized
okay.
religion.
He was a mystic. Guru Nanak Ji was a mystic.
Yes.
Okay, if he saw Raj today, if Guru Nanak Ji was brought back today, and he saw Raj today, he would not recognize Raj because he himself was not a Sikh. Guru Nanak was not Sikh as Raj is a Sikh today. Sikhism, as you see it today, is the doing of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the 10th Guru. Okay, Guru Nanak Ji had nothing to do with what Sikhs believe in today or what they do today as their religion or as their because these 5 things the Sikhs.
Can we wrap up?
Okay, so yeah,
I
we
wanna
can,
say something.
of course we can.
All right.
So my point is, all these claims about mass murder, mass conversion, or mass genocide or whatever, these have been thoroughly, successfully challenged by modern historians. Some of the names were given. I will give them again. Names such as Richard Eaton, okay, then F.F. Richard. Then we have people like Sunil Kumar, a historian on the Delhi Sultanate, a Hindu. I don't know if he's a Hindu or an atheist, but he is teaching at the Delhi University currently. There are people like Mujumdar. There are people like, for example, Irfan Habib or Muhammad Habib. These are modern historians who have written extensively on the history of medieval India, and they have directly, successfully challenged all these notions to be found in the British colonial historical narrative.
Let's wrap up, yeah? So can I just say something? Although I'm wearing a turban, I only wore the turban today because of the remarks on there about ragheads and stuff, and I want to come back and say, look,
And we apologise.
I don't know, the Prophet Muhammad wore a turban and stuff, yeah?
Yes.
And so
you're
this is the
right.
reason I don't want to be representing Sikhs, so any Sikhs going in, I'm not representing you, I'm an individual. I'm not a monolith. Yeah, I'm here as an individual. He's bringing up certain aspects about Sikhism, and I'm not going to rebut them today because I'm not qualified to do it. So I hope that somebody from Basics or Sikhi or one of those guys will come down and I'll have a discussion about that. My discussion
welcome.
My discussion will be nothing to do with theology, but more about historical aspects, which is what I would prefer to discuss. The other thing is that hopefully we can sit down and have like a better dialogue, yeah, and have a real in-depth discussion over a period of time, not just in one go. And we can, instead of trying to establish what is the difference between us, maybe try and establish what is similar between us.
But do you accept the fact that, Raj, I'm not being arrogant here,
Yeah.
but my field is history. I'm by profession a historian, a student of history. I would like to call myself a student of history. Okay, your field is engineering. So when it comes to history, I have no, because I'm speaking publicly now. Thousands of people are watching these videos out there. They can come back and call me a liar if I lie on history. But the references and the historians I'm quoting are not
Yeah, all right. So
non-existent.
let me
They
say,
exist.
let me just say.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm intelligent enough to read a book and look through sources
Yeah.
and to be able to interpret what is written and kind of get my own view on it and not to be dictated by anybody else. So I can say my facts and I can also give references. Yeah, and the thing is, I think it's difficult. We can't have a conversation if you're always saying that my references are not valid, but yours are. Yeah, the debate becomes nowhere, and we can't do that. Next time we can't do that. We have to establish ground rules that establish what references that can be accepted. It can't be just your sources and mine not, and you keep shutting me down. The other thing is that, look, I don't hate anybody because I know everyone's calling me hate preacher.
Look,
I want to be able to talk to you guys, yeah.
With
Understand.
with references and numbers. I want to, again, this is because it's education, I really want to make this point very quickly. I'll give you an example. Crusades, during the Crusades, when the Crusaders took Jerusalem, they killed the population. Yeah. Okay, this is testified to by all the sources, Armenian sources, Jewish sources, Greek sources, and the Muslim sources. Ibn al-Athir, one of the Muslim historians, he stated that 70,000 Muslims were killed in Jerusalem. And we know for a fact that the population of Jerusalem was not 70,000 at the time. It is impossible for 70,000 people to be killed. Now, this is the point he was making against the Christians, the Crusaders. To make them look bad, he gave a high number, okay? But we don't believe that number because it is not sustainable. So this is what I mean about academia. Academics come forward and they challenge in the light of archaeology, in the light of local narratives, in the light of what people ate at the time, what they wore, how big the walls were, how big the houses were. Depending on all these sources put together, they come up with the solution that even the population of Jerusalem was not 70,000 at the time. So when people make claims, 100,000 were killed, 1 million were killed, or 2 million were killed.
And let me say something.
Yeah.
I agree. Some of the worst atrocities ever, even about, I think Christians have taken it even to another level sometimes when I read stuff.
Yeah.
And they have committed some of the worst atrocities. The difference is, most of the Christian countries have accepted that, and they've said, look, we done bad and moved on. What I find with the Muslim community is that nothing happened. And I can't
There's
work
a denial.
with you.
There's
It's
a
a denial. I'll call it a Holocaust denial
what?
of India.
Of what?
I'll call you a Holocaust denial of India.
But
Yeah. And now I will stick to it. I said it to you because I would like
Raj,
you.
there
You're
was
denying
no.
the Holocaust.
There was. I'm saying there was no Holocaust or genocide because
I
when
read your facts. I read your references from your own people saying they slaughtered 100,000 in one day, and last week you said they didn't even slaughter that in 400 years.
Okay.
So,
I'm
your
telling
argument
you.
has
I'm
gone
telling you
from-
when 100,000 were killed. I'm telling you in the Battle of Panipat when 100,000 Marathas were killed. I'm telling you. I'm helping you. But when you say these people, the Muslim armies were going into villages, killing, raping, pillaging, non-existent. I am absolutely categorically denying it.
But how can
and you will not find a historian, a modern historian, who has written post-1950s who will stand by that claim.
Hold on. The problem is this year. I understand about the Christian atrocities, but hold on, but it did not affect my people.
But people die in wars.
I know, but my point is, my ancestors were affected, so it directly affects me.
In
so
what
I'm
sense?
not gonna. I don't really care what happened in Christian
Raj,
Europe in
were the
the
Sikhs
13th
fighting?
century.
Were the Sikhs
What-
fighting the Mughals?
I'm not going to go into all of this stuff because all you
Were
let's
the
just leave it at
Gurus?
this.
Were the Gurus
Let's
fighting the Mughals?
Let's just leave.
No,
of
Raj,
course we will always
let's
fight.
say I'm a king. I have a state of 100 people. Among those 100 people are 10 are Sikhs. Let's say I'm a king. I want to maintain order in my state, right? The 10 out of the 10, 2 rise and they say we're going to fight this king. We're going to destroy this king, and they go and start killing others as well. Let's assume I'm giving a scenario. Now I as a king, I have to maintain order. Okay. By the way, what the Sikhs accuse Aurangzeb of is
the evilest man in history. Take that down.
Wait, Aurangzeb, when the Guru's children were killed, Guru Gobind Singh's 2 sons, when they were killed, okay, or when the Guru himself was killed, or when other atrocities or battles were taking place, Aurangzeb was in the south. He was in south of India, thousands of miles away. He had no idea what was happening in the Punjab or what was happening in the north. So again, these things need to be known. They need to be known.
No. But we need to talk this on another day where we have like 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
There's no way to talk about this and do us justice.
I was finishing my point about this.
He recommended you a book. Did you read it? Because if you're going to be fair, you have to look at the other side of the story, Raj. Do you
Will
understand?
he read my books then?
No, but he does. He's a historian. He
I
reads
have-
both
He
sides.
refutes any reference I've given.
I have
He
4,000
refutes
books
them.
in my library.
But we have to
And
have
a lot of them are written by
we-
people who have written
we
against
have
Islam.
Raj, are you willing to read
No,
that book?
hold on. We have to have rules of engagement, yeah, and one of them is that we should be able to respect each other's sources.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And he's not accepting mine.
No.
So how can I accept yours?
If you bring me Tommy Robinson
Oh my
has
God.
written in his
Where-
book
where is
X,
the-
Y, and Z,
Oh,
that's not a source.
Red herring. Red herring.
I know. I know.
He-
So as a historian, as a student of history, when he will bring sources, I will challenge them.
Yes.
I will challenge them. Why? I'll ask him, where did you get the quote from? Number one question. Number two, is the quote in context? Number three, what do historians?
His favorite historians. But
What do modern historians have to say about these quotes? All of these questions are very important. For example, if I want to make a point on engineering, okay, I'm not going to bring a cobbler or a bookbinder to comment on engineering. Rather, I'm going to bring an engineer who understands engineering. Likewise, when you bring a quote from sources, we have to go back to secondary historians, people who have written 1950s onwards, and ask them, what do they
we
think?
established that
What do they-
1950s onwards.
Yes.
You will
Yes,
find
we've
something.
established.
No,
Yeah,
no,
cool.
no,
Yes.
you
You
will
see,
find
1950s
something.
onwards.
Okay.
Let's start researching our Christian
and I'll
brothers.
tell you something.
Let's do it.
There was a historian, a very good historian from India, known as K.S. Lal, Kishori Saran Lal, a very established historian on the Delhi Sultanate period. His early books were amazing, absolutely amazing. In the 90s, when he became very old, something happened to him suddenly.
Oh,
And he-
something suddenly happened to
well,
him.
let's
He
check.
became an
I'm not
Islamophobe.
saying this. I'm not saying this, by the way.
God,
This
so
is
lazy, this
this is
argument.
who is saying
They
this?
become Islamophobes as an
Listen to me. Listen
I
first.
know, but it's such a
They-
lazy argument,
okay,
man.
okay.
You can't call someone racist and an Islamophobe.
In the 90s,
Oh my
he
God, I
started
love
to
my
write.
brothers,
We
man.
love you.
I think-
I love you as well,
The
man.
next breath we hate you.
I think we should end here. I'm very tired
I'm a
now.
very complex person.
And
hate
I hope
I hate
this will
you.
go
I hate a
out
lot
and
of
educate a
people.
lot
I
of people
love you, but
about
I hate
history.
Sikhism.
What it is here, look, I'm a very complex person. Yeah. I don't like. I dislike most people. So don't take offense, please. So anyone
No,
on there,
I love you, bro.
I don't like
hate
most
you.
people.
I like your sources.
Yeah, I
I like
don't-
your sources when you quote them professionally. Okay, cut and
I'll
paste.
I'll get somebody here that can orate it.
gotta be fair.
I'll have a third
No,
person
no,
that
no,
can
I
do
don't
it
mean that.
professionally.
I
What
don't
do you
mean that.
then?
I mean
Historians look for
historians who have looked through these sources and see what they have to
So
say.
I have to bring an historian
Yeah.
to validate it, so for you to accept it, but I have to accept yours.
No. I'll tell you how history
my God.
works.
Do you know-
History works for your
Oh,
position and
history
against your
works for
position.
you.
No, you have to
I'm
look
not
at
allowed
for
to have
and against.
history.
That's how to be
I'm not
objective.
allowed. I can only take your
No,
history.
Raj,
Everything
what
else
you're
is
doing- what
everything
you're
else is
doing-
made up.
No, what you're doing is just
Oh,
supporting your
come on,
side.
man.
Come on, Raj.
Come on. Let's end it here. Oh, but the thing is, he conceded that innocent people died, so well done. It's one step closer.
innocent
Wait,
people
wait,
died.
One step
wait,
closer.
wait.
You
In
said-
war,
you
in
said
war,
innocent people died.
innocent
in war.
people always die
good,
in war.
good,
Because
good.
the
Always.
We
There
can
is not a
work our
war
way-
in human history
Yes.
when innocent people
We
did
can
not
work our way
die
up now.
unless what you do is you gather all of them, innocent people, put them in a jar, and then have a war.
He's still an
Okay,
Indian
then they're not going to
Holocaust
die.
denier.
Then they're not going to die.
Especially when
But
you're dealing with
that
the
doesn't
deniers.
happen.
He's still an Indian
But
Holocaust now, but
Islam
he's gone
doesn't,
one
Islam
step up.
doesn't ordain it.
Indian Holocaust,
Cool.
something you
Come
could
on,
not
brother.
substantiate.
Let's leave it on a good note, man. Let's do this.
Again. Okay,
That's good.
let's
man.
go home.
Adnan, you're-